And now for a taste of things to come.
It's a beautiful 68-degree day here in Northern California. However, they say vengeance is a dish best served cold, but the action should heat up in the ring. Welcome everybody to Simply Reliable Studio presents NXT Vengeance Day. I am, of course, Mr. Reliable, Walter Cruz, here with the teammate from last night. This is Nick. How you doing, Nick? Toronto's own, or what'd you say, an hour outside of Toronto?
No, you're good. You're good. You got it. You got it. We'll give it to you. What's going on,
Uh,
people?
what's going on, dude? How are you?
I'm just out here, buddy. Just out here, just chilling, just doing some tangs.
All right. How do
Yeah.
you feel about this Vengeance Day?
Um. I mean, let's let's pull the elephant out of the room. I am not a WWE guy, so this card has no interest to me. Um. But on paper, it seems like a good card for any one person to enjoy. So I mean, it looks good. It looks like you know, you'll have people will be having some fun.
Yeah, and of course Noah. He's doing his Noah things. He'll be here a few minutes before the actual PLE starts, but
Yep,
it
yep.
doesn't start till 7 p.m. Eastern, so on 4 p.m. Pacific. So we're here to preview it. So let's just get right into it. First match, a little bit of a rivalry. I don't know if you really watch NXT, but a little bit of a rivalry that's been building as Tony D'Angelo, who's on his own without the family anymore, on his own,
Yep.
going
I hear
against
that.
Dion Lennox. We know that before Tony D'Angelo disappeared for a while, Dark State was the reason. They beat him up, they joined him, and now his coming back for revenge slowly, one by one. So, what do you think of this, Matt?
I mean, Tony D's got he definitely changed different from seeing him being the Don of NXT to what he is now. It's pretty different. Uh, but he's rolling with it. It looks like should be a good match. You know, um, I've never seen Dion Lennox, so I mean, definitely a good starting off point.
You never seen Dion? I think he's one of the best standouts of Dark State, but I'm so glad they changed his character from that nerdy guy with the glasses who was all shy to be around the females to this development. I mean, a complete 180, and I'm glad they went with this.
No, I haven't. I haven't honestly. I've never seen.
Mm.
I've seen a little bit of Tony D's work. I've never seen Dion's work. So
Yeah, he can go. He could
yeah.
definitely go for sure. Next after that, we got Miss Parker Miss Parker, I can see the comments saying it about Miss Parker already. I won't get too excited, but yeah, Miss Parker in a street fight against the Glamour, Blake
The
Monroe.
glamour.
I don't even know if that still works with her name being Blake Monroe. Still call her that. Screw it. Oh, what do you think this match should be? And
This should.
I love Blake Jada's knee. That reminds me like her the bottom of her gear reminds me of like Scott Hall's like NWO gear. Like I feel like that's what she's going for with that. But I
Mhm.
love that outfit.
I mean, this should be a fun match. They're definitely. I mean, has has Blake. Blake is Blake, right? The glamour
Yep.
is dead. So, um, before people get their panties wrapped in a knot, it good for her. She's thriving there, and that's what she where she wanted to be. They got her doing some things, and she's taking it like a champ. So it should be. I mean, I got Jada on this. I hope Jada wins it. Um,
I see big things for Jada coming up, and I'm making a joke because of the haha, because of the type of women I like and people know. But no, I think Jada's finally going to be the year because people are going to, a lot of people got called up. I think it's Jada's turn, so we'll see. This might be the first step in her direction of rising to the top of the NXT women's
mhm,
division.
absolutely.
If her neck is 100% healed, she took some time off because of her neck, and I was surprised she was even around because if you saw that DDT she took and the awkward landing, I'm just glad she was okay.
That's 100%.
All right, next up, Mamacita, of course, Lola Vice, one half of the
Lola.
Triple I mixed tag match. She's in her though, as there is an NXT Underground match against the former TNA Knockout champion and the former NXT North American Women's Champion, Kelani Jordan. This is easy as it looks. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Lola. It's me, damn it. I gotta go with Lola. But Kelani, if you saw NXT last time, teased and she went to Shayna Baszler to try to get some training for this kind of match. Who better to prepare you for an MMA style match against Lola than Shayna Baszler, who came from the MMA background, who came from there and transitioned to WWE and the wrestling. So for her to if she actually got the training that she asked for, Kalani might shock and surprise all of us.
Yeah, Kalani might. I just think that they are really high on on Lola. So I actually got Lola winning this one. I just think that they are really they want they see bigger things for Lola, and I could be wrong, right? I just think that they see bigger things for Lola than they do uh, Kalani.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, I got Lola.
big things coming. Lola Kalani, I think she's on top right now with the championship and everything. I think she should come out, but I wouldn't be shocked if Kalani surprises us because they could just say she was trained by Shayna. You got the built-in reason. She might surprise you, but of course the NXT Underground, it's a whole different ball game match. It's an MMA style.
I
Then
was
we
gonna say
got.
I like that. I like that wrinkle in it that it's an underground match.
Mhm.
Makes it for a little bit of unpredictability.
Yeah, of course. And then we have Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Of course, this rivalry's been building because she was part of the calling and everything that happened. Um, I'm gonna go for Tatum. I'm hoping there's a new champion. That's who I picked. Tatum has completely changed her character. She's not worried about being best friends with people. She's saying that her best friends can be the crowd. So I'm thinking Tatum pulls it off, but we'll see. What do you think? And
Yeah.
keep it talking because I gotta go on mute for a minute.
Geez. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got to go on mute. Uh, yeah, I think Tatum is doing well for her character. I mean, with that whole Tatum, was doing very well with what's her face? With with Chemical X, that's what it was. She was doing some great work with that group. So, I mean, it would be nice to see how she does. Uh, but I kind of see. I mean, I think they just put the title on Izzy anyways. So I mean, they'll probably just. I would think that we won't see a title change. But you never know, right? There's hopefully they can get us interested, and hopefully they bring something good to the table. I mean, we got Walter on hold here. And I a lot of people know me. They know that I'm not a WWE fan. But wrestling is wrestling. Like if you enjoy the product, what they're turning out, hey, to each its own, right? Like, you're kind of glad, that they're doing their thing, and hopefully they can continue their momentum. But yeah, it's a big night tonight, everybody. Big night tonight if you're tuning in. We got a few interviews. We got some shit going down today. We got the boys. We got some of the boys on the call for a GCW show. We've got Walter and hopefully soon Mr. Noah Foster on the call for Vengeance Day. And then we also have at 11 p.m. It's 11 p.m. I'm on the East Coast, so I'm going to give you the East Coast time. So 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have our interview with the one and the only Good Witch herself, Kaya McKenna. She's going to be coming on the show tonight. She's going to be talking to us. She's going to be talking about all things pro wrestling. We're going to talk some hockey. And we're just going to shoot the shit with her. Just going to shoot the shit. I did on X. If you follow me on X, Nick B Leaf 12. There was a video that we found from our lovely leader, Mr. JJ, about it's a very nice video that the ladies and gentlemen, Corey and Connor of Pro Wrestling Symphony, put out there. Make sure you go check it out.
Yeah. Well,
oh, you're back.
Sorry
You're
about
back.
that.
No,
Yeah. I'm working at the same time. Noah just texted. He'll be there in about 8 minutes. But yeah, this rivalry, I'm hoping a new champ. It's time for Tatum to get her revenge and keep that title, and maybe Izzy could be the one that goes and spirals out of control. But those, I don't know. There's a rumor that it's an AI, but that video package that they made with Paxley, it was awesome. Like the ones that they've been having.
Or they were pretty good.
Yeah, I really like the way that they've been doing this.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Didn't they just put the titles on her though?
They put the title on her, I believe, 2 months ago. Yeah, she beat Tatum for it. It was on an NXT.
Yeah, just
checking.
checking.
It was one of the specials, yeah. Anywho, all right. So Nat, who you thought Izzy was gonna keep it because she just had it?
I think she just have it?
I'll look it up. I know it was on NXT. It's only been like 2 months, but the way they built it, it's time for Tatum's.
Yeah, like I could have sworn she literally just had it. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. So
She won on January 6th,
okay.
so a few months. I knew it was a special that we covered. Then this is somebody who honestly just won it in the ladder match, a 6-way match. But Joe Hendry, no, I'm not going to do the shtick because we're not going to wear it out. But the NXT champion, Joe Hendry, against the former NXT champion, Ricky, ooh, I almost said the wrong name, Ricky Saints.
You
But
almost call him Ricky Starks.
yeah,
Listen, he's still a Stark. He's still
I
Stark.
know, right?
I don't care what anybody has to say about that. He's still Ricky Starks.
I don't know why they changed the name, but whatever. I mean, it makes sense. Saints, New Orleans Saints, yeah, that's his team. Whatever. But anyways, I think it's a retention here. This is his first defense of the title. There's no way you prop somebody up this big, had him signed from TNA, make it all about him, and he loses his. What's up, Matt? He loses his first title defense. So I think this is a foregone conclusion. Although I've been wrong a lot this year, so can't take my word to the bank. But I think he keeps the title. But what do you think?
I think Joe loses it.
Oh, come on.
I think Joe Hendry loses it. I just think that there's like, what's he doing with it? You know, like, I don't know. I don't see it going anywhere, to be honest with you. I don't see what his title reign is doing for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I could be wrong. Don't you quote me and say that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely could be wrong. I don't see his title reign going anywhere right now.
Is it because you feel like they're just gonna call him up and bring him up to the main roster?
Well,
Or?
yeah, I think that's kind of eventually where we need to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But I
I
think
just think
NXT has lost
that's.
so many other big time players that they don't want to bring him up that fast.
But what, are you gonna let him sit in? You're gonna let him sit in catering? Like, you don't want to do that either. So you're really, you're in you're at a rock and a hard place. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I
So
mean, we'll
it's
see. We'll see if you're right, but yeah, I don't think at least not. You ruin his character if he loses his first one. And look, people are saying hashtag you gotta believe, man.
you probably do. You probably do. But I mean, I don't really think a lot of people even trust WWE to make the right decisions. So you know what I mean? Like I don't see them making the right decision. I don't. Uh, it is what it is.
I mean, things have happened. More shocking things have happened. So I mean,
Absolutely.
we gotta check.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, it definitely it could happen. Like, there's definitely that if. To say that it couldn't, it's being disingenuous. But at the same time, I don't. It's hard for me to see them making that good decision, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but let's see. Let's see if they can, if WWE can pull their head out of their ass and do it, right? The way I look at Joe Hendry, and I'm sorry for people who like him, I put him in the same category as when not Dark State, sorry, what's their fucking name? God damn it! What's his fucking name? The Wyatt Six. When the Wyatt Six first came back, I flat out said, when everybody was all like ooh and ah, I said this motherfucker's more like these guys are gonna be nothing more, nothing less than entrant merchants. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, it's what they are. Don't shoot the messenger. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And with that said, the voice, the simple voice, well, the simple man with the spectacular voice, I should say, Noah Foster has joined. He's here.
Hello once again, everybody. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, Walter. Good evening, Super Liable Studios and NXT community and professional wrestling fans, casual and hardcore galore as we get ready for tonight's presentation of Vengeance Day that is literally less than 2 minutes away. Hope everyone enjoys. It's good to see y'all once again, and shout out to those that are covering GCW. Of course, we bring you a double feature content coverage tonight on this packed weekend of all the wrestling. How you doing, Walter?
I'm doing well. I'm a little taken back by Nick's take. He thinks Joe Hendry's actually going to lose the title because there's no point in him staying in NXT. He's going to go up to the main roster. I'm like, this is his first defense. While I respect his opinion on everything, I feel like they'll be doing a disservice by making him lose the title that quick.
It's his second defense, actually, after he defended it against, I believe, the Evolved champion, the Vanity.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The NXT
Evolved
landscape has changed dramatically since Obafemi, Jay Van Evans, and Trick Williams are now part of the main roster. But we should not be surprised if we do get a traditional champion. When Ricky Saints held the title for the first time, he lost it against the very man. He took it from Obafemi at Deadline. And we see now where Ricky Saints is really trying to find himself by this championship. Like Joe Hendry wants us to believe in him. Joe Hendry's been to the top of the mountain, whether he's entertaining or whether he's serious. Ricky Saints, the only one thing on his mind, and that is holding the NXT title. That's the one thing he believes that will define him. For Joe Hendry, does this truly define him, or is this just another fleeting moment? In less than 15 seconds, we're going to find out. But I would not be surprised to get title change. But I do believe that Joe Hendry is the right guy to be a foundation for this new, evolved NXT landscape. So with that said, I do thank Joe Hendry will retain as we get ready for the feed to go live. And with that, we thank you, Nick, of course, for being part of the pre-show conversations. Of course, we'll see you part of the Saturday Shenanigans. And stay tuned, folks, for another Poldemania interview with Kyle McKenna, of course, at the top of the 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sure Nick will be heavily involved in that. Thank you, Nick, by the way, for your proactive notes and research and support for that talent. Appreciate you.
No problem. Yeah, I'll be there with you guys actually on the air interviewing her. So
good.
Should be a fun time. We're gonna have a good time.
Well, we're all in this together all the time, 24/7, 365. There's only one thing that's on everyone's mind. From provocation to absolute frustration, to insults, to injury, to setting an example, to carrying out a vendetta. Everyone only wants to get one thing accomplished tonight, and that is vengeance. Welcome, everybody, to Orlando, Florida, virtually, and welcome into Super Liable Studios as this is NXT Vengeance Day. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again. Noah Foster, Walter Cruz. We are Super Liable, and we are here to bring you coverage tonight for NXT Vengeance Day. Hope you all enjoy. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. You want to dictate the conversation. Super chat, PayPal, that page as simple as that. The NXT Women's North American Championship on the line. It's Tam Paxley. Looks to show exactly why you don't throw away things you play with. Sending a very painful message to Izzy Dame. But will it be Dame over once again? Will the calling be Tatum Paxley's undoing? In the first-time battle of gymnastics versus mixed martial arts combat, Kelani Jordan takes to the underground for the first time ever against the undefeated Lola with a bad hand. As Tony D, without a family, without anything but a vendetta, looks to leave Dark State permanently in the dark tonight, taking on Dion Lennox. As Blake Monroe brings the woman from hell tonight to a street fight against Jaida Parker, looking to waste her. And we'll see now if you believe in Joe Hendry or absolutely put stock into NXT. That and all that is ahead tonight at Vengeance Day as we have our cold opener. Walter, are you ready to go?
Definitely ready to go. Of course. I'm most forward looking to the two women matches, though, because I want to see this crazy side of Blake Monroe. Does it help her get past Miss Parker? Miss Parker's got a mean, badass streak too. But that underground match, you know how I feel about the MMA and how I feel about Mamacita and everything. But the fact that Shayna Baszler, I was telling before you came in, Nick, do not sleep on Kelani. Just people think it's going to be a foregone conclusion because Lola has that background. But if you go to Shayna Baszler, a proficient MMA fighter who set the ground to how to transition from MMA into the world of professional wrestler, as your trainer, as your backup to show you how you go in the underground. Shayna's been here before. She's won an underground match. So for her to train Kalani, I would not just say it's a foregone conclusion for Lola.
Well, again, it's the first time dynamic though. We got gymnastics, and we saw how counterintuitive gymnastics was in that training with Shayna Baszler. And of course, in this, you either tap out or you get knocked the F out. And Lola Vice is undefeated. This is her world. To be adapted in someone else's world is way easier said than done, considering the level of experience that Lola Vice has in MMA. She won most of her matches via knockout before transitioning into professional wrestling. But Kelani Jordan, to your point, ever since the fallout from honestly, NXT Showdown, when Lola Vice was representing, of course, NXT and Kelani representing TNA, Kelani Jordan only seemed like the little sister of this locker room, considering she was the first ever NXT Women's North American Champion. Kelani's out to prove a point that she is not just an afterthought, she could be the thought, the conversation, and her work regimen outpasses Lola Vice, even in her element. Plus, we know Lola's coming in here with an injury after Kelani Jordan has assaulted her hand to the point that doctors have cleared her, but again, she's risking permanent injury to that hand. So again, with the vulnerability of Lola Vice, one of her most lethal weapons in play tonight, not 100%, Kelani Jordan can exploit that. So I am very curious to see how this goes. And again, Lola is 3-0 in Underground. She's never lost.
Nope. But it's hard to stay undefeated. I mean, look at the streak. The streak came to an end eventually. So not all things are set in stone. And then you got Jaida. You talk about risk of injury. She's risking her neck. This is a street fight. It's no rules, no anything. She came back from an injury, a long layoff, had 2 matches, hurt her neck after what people were calling botch, but I just said it was a mistime. But that DDT that Blake gave her, she landed on the neck in a weird manner, and she injured her neck. They thought she was going to be out. She's got back. While though medically clear doesn't mean no longer in pain, it just means that there's no liability for the company and that she can go and take some impact. It doesn't mean she's completely pain free. So Jaida is another one who's also risking it. It looks like we're starting with that match.
And to your point, the woman from hell has leapt from the mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who is the most glamorous and sinister of them all? We're about to see a street fight with 2 women that are going to do far more than just cat fight. Blake Monroe and Jaida Parker are kicking things off tonight. Talking about how personal a lot of these matches have gotten. Last time Blake Monroe made things so personal to the point she had to bring the woman from hell against her foe was against Jordan Grace in a weaponized steel cage, and the Juggernaut did get the better. Of course, we know that this really picked up, though, during that triple threat number one contenders for the NXT Women's North American Championship, might I add. Blake Monroe, the former Mariah May, the Glamour, is 3-1 right now in NXT PLEs. Her only loss being that weaponized steel cage, and she was previously the NXT Women's North American Champion.
Yep.
Of course, we welcome in Vic Joseph and Booker T as they are literally doing this from the NXT Arena in Orlando, Florida.
And Jaida just feels like while she was out and Blake came in, she kind of took her spot. So Jaida is more about taking her spot and tired of being overlooked. So she made this personal, and these two have gotten heated real quick.
Well, I mean, when you're literally trying to hip attack someone's head through a barricade and you're only ever one-on-one encounter that ended via double countout, yeah, you consider things got personal. Not to mention, Jaida Parker, who's in her 10th career PLE match in WWE and has not lost a one-on-one match since September last year, she eliminated Blake Monroe from the Speed Tournament with a running hip attack, a literal drive-by.
Yep, Miss Parker.
All right, get it out of your system, Walter. I know we're dealing with Booker T, but I think you have more brains than him. Of course, folks, in a street fight, there are no countouts, no disqualifications. Only way to win via pinfall submission, as the ring is laced with kendo sticks. Jaida Parker also has previously won a street fight with every tool in the box, quite literally, against Meacham in a bygone era of NXT. So this is familiar territory.
They ain't pulling no punches seriously.
I'm sure there's going to be more than enough wood thrown around with these two women. Former volleyball player, of course, to your point, it was an injury that ended Jaida Parker's volleyball career. And right now, these two women are gator rolling to the outside. Referee is going to have a hard time keeping control of these two. But then again, a street fight, control goes out the window.
True, but sometimes taking something too personal can be a detriment to you, man. When you take something too personal, you lose focus, and that's what leads to mistakes. And all it takes is a mistake in 3 seconds, and you're out of there.
Do you think that Blake Monroe, though, was right in what she said in NXT when it comes to the fact that I am the attention, I am the conversation? Why Jaida Parker believes all Blake Monroe is a fake-ass bitch who's looking for relevancy.
I think they both have some merit to what they're saying, but it's just a cap. There's two top women fighting for position. There's going to be bad blood no matter what.
Well, Jaida Parker, who's also had the longer tenure here in NXT, she has yet to hold gold in NXT. Let's not forget, previously challenged Jessie Jane last year for the NXT Women's Championship. In less than a year, Blake Monroe has already been a champion in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And right now,
that's what I'm saying. Jaida feels like she's been overlooked for too long.
Bring it out to win, a minute. What the hell did Blake Monroe just grab? Oh!
Is that an umbrella?
That's exactly what that is. Looking to rain on Jaida Parker's comeback parade, to your point. Again, everything's legal. You literally could use anything you get your hands with. And we saw how the woman from hell was apparently brought back and challenged Jaida Parker to a street fight after Jaida slapped the Botox out of freaking Blake Monroe's mouth.
You're only limited by your own imagination.
And your reckless abandonment for you and your opponent's well-being. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Shout out to all of you in the chat. I hope that you all are enjoying this. Again, subscribe today to Rage of Wrestling. Good to see you, Wheels, Egg, Nathan Banks, Matthew, Watch Dev, and Michael Vasquez, as well as everybody else that might just be a shadow in the chat or just literally up there in the virtual nosebleed seats. But I hope that you enjoy our commentary and reactions here. Again, we got 2 titles on the line tonight, and we got 5 very personal grudges in play on this 5-match card here tonight at Vengeance Day. Blake Monroe bringing Jaida Parker back inside the ring. And of course, right now, I almost would consider the NXT Women's landscape in a state of chaos. You saw what happened with Soruka and Zarya, another tag team that, of course, split apart. And of course, we'll see who will stand delivered for the NXT Women's Championship Saturday, April 4th, ahead of WrestleMania week. The first time stand delivered is not part of WrestleMania week activities. Covered now by Blake Monroe, gets a 1 count. At this point, though, Walter, this women's division, everyone's at each other's throats.
Everyone, of course, because they're looking for a spot. I mean, people have been called up already, like Jordan Grace and others. So it leaves the proverbial top spot to be open, and it's there for anyone who would take it. What is it? The brass ring that women have to prove and go out and reach for and prove that they're the top women in this division.
Oh, man!
Oh, my God.
Face first in a steel chair that Blake Monroe set up, suspended by kendo sticks on the ropes. And Jaida Parker swinging for the fences.
I thought she was going to go for a Death Valley driver through that, but she went face forward.
Well, we all know what happens when the lady from hell sees her own blood and sees red. So again, Jaida Parker might want to be careful here. We are talking about a former AEW Women's World Champion, Jesus, that literally bludgeoned her former timeless sister in a bygone life. And again, Jaida Parker right now, though, showing that mean attitude from the streets, just driving Blake Monroe between the apron and the announce table.
Yeah, they have been at each other's throats since the bell rung. They haven't given each other two inches of space.
Oh boy, and Jaida Parker once again bringing out the lumber here, setting up another tool for destruction. A kick to the midsection, though, by the Glamour. Again, how could something so glamorous be so sinister? Exhibit A, the street fight tonight. Don't let a pretty face fool you. Again, just driving her face first in the steel ring steps. And looking for the hip attack. I mean, it's nothing but steel against her ass.
Dude, I don't care how much meat you got back there. She just went full force into the steel steps. That could miss a line of hip right there.
I'm about to say one of the largest muscles on the human body, but also, again, all that tissue and muscle tension does not have a lot to come back to that lethal force of steel that has no give against a human body. And now on the top, mental drop kick.
Part of your sciatic
Counter
nerve is
back plus
there.
the far leg and a 2 count. You were saying.
Part of your I don't know. I can't talk right now.
Gee, I wonder why, Walter. You really hold yourself together, but I think I know exactly why.
I was trying to say sciatic nerve is there, so she can really injure herself.
Remember what I talked about on Simply Predicting? One of the most lethal weapons that Jaida Parker has. Oh! Almost a scar crushing grenade with a candlestick that covered by Blake Monroe gets a 2 count. I was saying that one of the most lethal weapons Jaida Parker has, with all due respect, is that hip tonic, that running hip attack. And obviously, compromising that plays in Blake Monroe's favor.
Mm-hmm. There's a pink bat.
And right now, a trash can. And who the fuck buys a pink baseball bat?
I don't know. Only
Where do you even get that? What the bloody hell you paint a baseball bat pink?
Why is there a basketball net there? What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, we are in Orlando, Florida. I'm sure they be balling down there sometimes. Trash can brought inside the ring, or maybe she wants to tie her up. Maybe it's a volleyball thing as well. Again, I talk about, the background of Jaida Parker, Miss Parker, with no wrestling experience prior to NXT, brought for the new program, if you believe it, folks. Former collegiate, almost national volleyball player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Blake Monroe hoisted up to the top roller. Big right hand by Jaida Parker.
My gosh, she slapped the taste out of her mouth.
Oh, and a headbutt by that crazy lethal Brit. Now using the arm and literally driving Jaida face first in the top turnbuckle. And the evil intentions that are on Blake Monroe's mind tonight span as far as you can figure about her career. Far longer, might I add, than Jaida Parker, former, of course, Stardom, Goddess Stardom Tag Team Champion. And now Jaida home with a trio of woes sent head first through a steel chair. Oh boy, and there is no protection right now for Jaida in that position. What the world is Blake Monroe thinking here? Placing the chair across and mocking Jaida Parker with those rising knees, looking for the run up and driving her hip into Jada's face between a steel sandwich. And the cover back press with the far leg, and he wasted kick out at 2.5 by Jaida. Take another look at the replay here, Walter. Jeez. Nowhere to go. Just take it. Back and front assault by Blake Monroe.
She might have hurt herself. She doesn't have as much cushion as Jaida does when she does her own impetus. Oh, they're pearls. I thought it was a net. It's a pearl.
Yeah, it's a pearl necklace right now. Oh, man. I might have knocked her the fuck out. Cover 2, kick out by Jaida.
Dude, she caught her full force with that right hand.
Again, I admire the resilience of Miss Parker, but now a candlestick breaks across the draw line here in a modified crossface. Again, she can hold on to this as long as she wants. There's no disqualification. And there's no rope break.
Nope. You got to find your way out of this.
The reversal by Miss Parker, though, using the momentum, gets a 1 count.
You could use the rope to sort of roll out of the ring to break up the pin, but to break up the submission, but the referee's not going to break it up.
And look at the face right now of Jaida with that candlestick again, swinging for the fences, and Blake Monroe is going to be a whole different shade of red in different parts of her body.
Not that it makes too much difference. Plus, her body is completely exposed. She has not a shirt covering it or anything. Nothing will make that much of a difference.
Well, that just goes back to, again, these two women don't give a damn if they hurt themselves as much as they, oh man, hurt their opponent more. The definition of vengeance, very prolific in this opening bout. That's not even a match, by the way. It's a fucking street fight.
It's a fight.
Well, I mean, we got more than enough fights here tonight. I mean, we're being perfectly honest here. And the only thing on the line here is pride and relevancy, according to Blake Monroe and Jaida Parker, and also putting yourself in the picture for the NXT Women's Championships. Blake Monroe rolls to the outside.
Using her intelligence, rolled right out.
Yeah, but the last time Blake Monroe rolled to the outside, she almost got hip tonic through a barricade that really escalated things as Jaida just booted a trash can out of Blake's hands here, and you can see the damage done to Jaida in the duration of this street fight, holding on to her lower right side hip.
That's the steel chair effect. I tell you, sciatic nerve is right there. You heard that, man. You're in pain.
And Blake Monroe again showing how devious, vengeful, spiteful that this woman can be with a trash can lid to the back of Jaida. And now a table being readjusted. I'm about to say it's all legal at this point. The only thing that's going to end here is one of these women's body will to compete. And what now? Oh no.
I'm afraid to ask what's in that bag.
What is in that little black? Is that a fucking brick?
Oh, we've seen this before.
Oh! Well, Jaida beating Blake Monroe to whatever she was trying to do with that brick, trying to break her foundation, eats a steel chair again to the lower spine. And Jaida once again back in control.
That might be poetic justice. Didn't Jaida use a brick a couple of years ago?
That's exactly right. Against your Mamacita, let's forget. She beat Lola Vise in the freaking Philly Street fight. Lola beat her in a Philly Street fight when NXT went hard extreme. And what
Jaida, your hip is already hurt.
Take a seat. Talk about a big move, literally putting her body in harm's way, crushing Blake Monroe through that table with her rear end.
Oh my God, she just literally compressed her own spine. If you think about it,
it's the heaviest seat Blake Monroe's ever had. I'll tell you that much. Good God.
She can barely walk right now.
Butt bomb. Now playing Blake Monroe back inside the ring, and again Jaida Parker with the runner hip tonic.
Oh, it's over. Come on, give it to me.
Over two. No, it's not over.
That might have been her biggest hit.
We talked about before, Walter, your emotions, and again the damage to that nerve that had to play in Blake Monroe's favor. Again, the Irish whip. Jaida Parker sent shorter first for that candlestick. Another massive headbutt by Blake. Bang! G-trigger! Over two. Good night. Kick out two by Miss Parker. Wow.
Blake's got to be thinking, what do I got to do? She may need that brick at this point.
Again, Blake Monroe was the one to call Jaida Parker out for this street fight, even though Jaida Parker was the one to deliver the first shot. Dueling chance right now by the NXT faithful for Jaida and Blake. Torso first goes Jaida Parker in the top turnbuckle.
I think the fact that Blake is willing to go just as far as Jaida has earned the NXT faithful's respect because they're cheering.
Well, again, your ass is in that bag. Let's find out.
Is it
Diamonds, and that may not be a girl's best friend.
Not in this match.
And right now, Jaida Parker scouting Blake. Oh man, Diamonds thrown in the eyes. Frankensteiner into the bed of Diamonds by Blake Monroe, hooking her up, beauty shot, DDT.
Into the Diamonds.
Cover by Blake Monroe, a glamorous finish for the win. As Jaida gets wasted. Blake Monroe literally crowning her opponent tonight, shining bright like a diamond, a vengeful diamond full of spite.
And on the neck that's already injured.
Again, when you look in the deep, dark recesses of the mind of the woman from hell, you see how sinister the glamour truly is. And we saw it tonight at Vengeance Day. Again, Walter, you go for the highlights here. Your girl, though, put her whole rear end into it.
She put it all on the line, but at the end, Blake did what she had to do to come out on top. Diamonds were her best friend, but maybe Jada's worst enemy.
24-karat revenge tonight on Blake Monroe's mind.
Yeah, I don't think that's the sparkle Jada wanted in her eye.
All those jagged, sharp edges of those jewels to victory for Blake Monroe was Jaida Parker's downfall.
I got Noah doing puns, guys. I'm rubbing off on him.
And we learned tonight how vengeful Blake Monroe can be when you summon the woman from hell.
Damn, she is pissed too, man. Look at Jaida. I got a feeling this ain't over.
But regardless, Blake Monroe receives vengeance tonight. And of course, coming up this April, we will see if vengeance is carried out and who has sweet victory across both Saturday and Sunday night when we go back to Las Vegas, double down for WrestleMania in Allegiant Stadium. Stay tuned for more on that as we will cover WrestleMania and so much more in our craziest week of the year at the Cinema Studios with more content than ever with our watch lunch schedules for WrestleMania week and weekend. But stay tuned for WrestleMania Las Vegas, April 18th and April 19th. And there will be Sleepy Ditty, of course, for that as well. Well, Walter, so far we saw the Glamour go full sinister and waste Jaida Parker. Good grief.
That was just the opening match. That means we got a long night ahead of us. And if people got to follow that shit, that was a good match.
Yeah, and again, those women left nothing to chance. Jaida Parker's attitude from the streets did not hold up, though, against the vengeful, evil spite that the Glamour has underneath. So congrats to Blake Monroe on winning this PLE. Now 4-1 in PLEs in literally less than a year. Miss Parker, gotta figure shit out. Well, that being said, Matthew, good to see you in the chat. Currently 0-1. I am 1-0. Again, as the NXT League has officially kicked off, thank you, by the way, to all 30-plus of you that have entered. I wish you all the best this year for the NXT PL League of 2026. Stay tuned this week when the All Elite League kicks off with AEW Revolution. Sleepy Dating Day and time to be determined, of course. We will be covering it here literally 1 week from tomorrow at the SIP Reliable Studios. Good to see City by the Bay. As, of course, for those that don't know, talking about women in wrestling, for 70, the Gods of the Underworld has beaten Mercedes Moné for the CMLL World Women's Championship last night. Congratulations.
She did?
That's correct. Congratulations
I'm so
to
happy.
Persephone.
I knew it. I told
Now,
you that was
8
going to
belts,
happen.
Moné. And also, if you didn't go watch it, go watch Olympia versus Megan Bayne, because my God, is Megan Bayne. She's going to be Wrestler of the Year, in my opinion, this year. And also shout out to Pro Wrestling Eve, as Mia Yamashita and Jamie Hayter kicked each other's ass for 25 minutes to the point that no decision was practically rendered until sudden death overtime with a skull kick. And again, stay tuned. If you can support women's wrestling, go watch Wrestle Queendom 8. Pro Wrestling Eve's biggest event of the year, right here on YouTube at Pro Wrestling Eve's YouTube channel. Starts 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for members only. I cannot wait to watch that. Many of your favorite talents from Eve, Stardom, and AEW will all be at that supercard. Good luck to Session Mark Martinez on getting the Eve Championship. Well, that being said, speaking of championships, Walter, what do you think that Mr. Interim General Manager Robert Stone needs to do with the women's division here and the NXT Women's title? Jessie Dane was lucky to not have to have her soul snatched by Soruka, and so right now has snatched both of their souls within the span of the last few months. Now that Soruka is no longer a team, but you know, women's tag team wrestling again breaks down WWE. Go figure. What do you think needs to happen with the NXT Women's Championship? Blake Monroe took a major step forward. And let's not forget when Blake Monroe first arrived, she was the fatal influence against Jessie Jane and her compadres. Might I remind you all? What do you think?
I'm not sure where you go from. You're going to have to do something to you got a good division. You got to make the #1 contendership. Blake Monroe just beat Jaida, knocked her out of there. You got to think she can be in contention. You got to see what happens with Iggy and Tatum tonight. You got to see where things are going, and then stand and deliver. Usually is the what is the name of that match? Why can't I think of it? Help me out, Noah. Come on, the Iron Survivor. When is that?
The Iron Survivor Challenge is at the end of the year at Deadline, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
I appreciate you, City. We always will try our best. Well, again,
aside from that, I don't know. You're gonna have to do don't do a battle royal because I'm tired of that kind of shit.
You may both.
I'm tired of tournament style matches. I'm tired of that. You're just gonna have to do some kind of maybe a 6-pack challenge. Take your top 6 contenders and do an elimination match. Winner is the #1 contender and goes against JC Jane at your next big pay-per-view.
Well, but to your point, though, last year when the women stood and delivered across multiple matches, it was a fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Championship and a ladder match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. That very well could be the same thing tonight. And speaking of champions, here we go backstage to the former NXT North American Champion, All Eagle, Ethan Page, and tonight's challenger for the NXT Championship, Absolute Ricky Saints. Might I add, Ethan Page took the title from Ricky Saints in the first place.
Yeah, but I think them going at it, Ethan might interfere with this main event to get himself back up there, and it ends up being a triple threat. I don't like the look last Tuesday that Ethan gave. He had a little smirk when Ricky's was talking to him, if you looked at it.
Well, it's a whole new landscape in NXT right now, and everyone's looking to be the leaders of it. And while Ethan Page was the face of Canada, North America for quite a duration, Miles Bourne now holds on to that title. And I think everyone believes in both Bourne and Hendry being the leaders of this NXT, except for these two gentlemen. Like you said, it's a whole new landscape now, which means it is literally about seizing or creating opportunity. And by the way, congrats to the 66th of you that got Blake Monroe correct.
You see the smirk on Ethan's face? He's cooking something, I'm telling you.
Apparently, Ricky Saints is enlisting Ethan Page's help and will promise him the first shot at the NXT Championship if he wins. As he's also promoting Ethan Page to become two-time NXT North American champion. I don't know if I like the look of Ethan Page's face.
Is that Tony D?
I believe that's Tony D and Dion Lennox, and apparently, oh, what the hell? Wait a minute. That's not Tony D. Oh, there he is! And he's attacking all Dark State with a crowbar.
What the hell?
Popping off in the parking lot.
This isn't a parking lot brawl match.
Well, I thought it was a normal match, but considering how personal this got, let's not forget Tony D said he came back to end Dark State. They cost him everything. His family, his titles, you name it. And let's not forget, Tony D cost Dark State the NXT Tag Team Champions against the Vanity Project.
It was not advertised as any kind of... This isn't even a match.
God.
This is just them seeing each other in the parking lot.
Well, apparently the fight is on, and security is not going to break this up as he tried to throw a keg in Dion's face against a car windshield. I thought this was supposed to be a one-on-one match inside the building, and it looks like the gate, well, at least the parking garage gate, so maybe they are going to take fades inside. Again, though, Dark State had the numbers game, though, and immediately Tony D neutralized that.
Yo,
now trying to keep Dark State out of the building.
That reminded me of when Eddie Guerrero and John Cena were going at it, that parking lot brawl with those cars surrounding them. They should have just did that, a parking lot brawl.
Well, I mean, it might break down to that again if Dark State finds the way inside the building, as right now Tony D has isolated himself and Dion backstage. I mean, again, this is as personal as it gets as well. That's going to be the form of the night. Oh, my Lord! He just punched through a fucking door.
Are they in a bathroom? Oh, no. Okay, I was going to say.
That was the bathroom door.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, how vengeful are you when you literally throw your fist for a damn door? Oh!
I know.
Is that a laptop?
That. Yep.
Well, I mean, the match officially, to your point, the match officially has not started. This has been nothing but a straight-up fight. And Dark State found the way inside the building.
This is just a brawl at this point. Remember, he doesn't have the family anymore to back him up.
Well, now we got security and officials because I believe this was supposed to be a sanctioned match tonight. And right now they're going to need probably the entire Florida PD department to separate these two. They're
literally fighting in this backstage area like construction. This is where they put up the things for the arena.
And I was about to say, a lot of dangerous artillery there for both these men to use. I mean, again, the official said we got to get this going inside the ring. We need to take this inside the arena.
Oh, my God. He tried to squish it with a freaking locker.
I'm about to say, are these two trying to beat each other or literally end one another at this point? Good Lord.
They just want to fight. They don't care about the victory.
Double A takedown over some stage crates. Yeah, Double A takedown over some stage crates. And Dion Lennox, of course, who really broke out last year in that Iron Survivor Challenge. We learned more about his backstory. It goes to show how far you're willing to go to try and destroy somebody that you believe has taken everything from you, and how far you're willing to go to take out somebody that's trying to take everything from you.
Well, remember, he blames them for taking the family away, remember?
I get that, but still.
I mean, and who took, before Tony's leave of absence, who took him out? It was Dark State.
Remember, this all goes back to when the D'Angelo family lost the NXT Tag Team Championships, of course, to Dark State. Lest we forget. And again, though, you cannot take one member of Dark State out without considering the rest.
And again, Tony has no more backup.
Now, Dion Lennox right now with Tony D in a combat position. OTM!
OTM?
What the fuck are they doing here? Well, I mean, I know they were also in pursuit of the Tag Team Championships. Now we got the entire locker room brawling or bringing up these two teams. What the fuck is happening? And right now, we're finally back inside the NXT arena. There's official following these two men that are getting closer and closer, might I add, to the actual ringside area. We are just outside the entranceway. Tony almost driving Dion Lennox through the damn wall.
I mean, somebody's got to get some freaking control.
Well, Robert Stone's the interim general manager, right? Whoa, what the fuck?
They literally just bursted out of that somebody said his name one time and Joe Hendry popped out of there.
It's called what it is, Walter. Tony D and Dion Lennox just fucking crashed through the damn stage.
Yo, I think Tony D hit his head on that stage crate too. You see that?
Well, again, we got a referee. We got the two men finally inside the ring. We're just waiting for a bell at this point.
Are they even fit for combat at this point?
Who the fuck cares? End this thing already. And I don't think Dion and Tony D give a shit. And the bell has rung, and this match is officially on as the fight continues.
Mm-hmm.
Hard Irish whip right now, and Tony D again dropped toehold, though, into the second turnbuckle. I think that turnbuckle pad was almost partially thrown off. Again, disregard your own well-being, disregard your opponent's well-being, disregard the rules as long as you can, but now the match is officially underway.
I mean, if the girls weren't already in the street fight, that's probably what happened. This would have been a street fight, but they didn't want to overdo it.
And this is what Shawn Michaels likes, right? He likes chaos, right? Well, this is Shawn Michaels NXT, and apparently chaos is the formula tonight. Everybody's out here to hurt everybody.
I don't even think chaos is a strong enough word for this. I don't know what the hell this is.
I haven't seen this much disarray since Lord William Regal almost left NXT and brought Samoa Joe as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And Dion Lennox right now, and much to the point right now, I will say it's a one-on-one standard sanctioned match. Dark State are nowhere to be found after OTM assaulted them in the parking lot, and we literally have this one-on-one contest. For the longest time, Walter, we didn't know what Tony D's MO was with the black shards and assaulting every bad person he could get. Spinebuster, Dion Lennox in the cover, hook of the leg, and a 2 count. But Tony D came out a couple weeks ago and told us what his story for revenge was. And now he's looking to carry out vengeance.
On paper, it's one-on-one, but we know what that really means when you face Dark State.
Tony D, one of the longest tenured individuals here on the NXT roster, former NXT North American champion. Might I add, the first defeat to the ruler Obafemi in his NXT career. A waistlock applied and Tony D sending Dion Lennox up and over and maintaining control of the hold. Again, how much of these two taken out of each other in that literally felt all night long pre-match assault?
The pre-fight, right?
Oh, God.
He's not letting go. Tony D's got this grip on his waistlock.
Again, Vengeance make a man do crazy things, apparently, especially when a vendetta is thrown against an entire unit. What a released German suplex to Dion Lennox. Look at the eyes, Walter. The eyes tell the story. And right now, Dion Lennox in a world of trouble. And again, Tony D sending Dion for the ride.
That was he did like the three amicis, I guess. Is that how you say friends in Italian? I think.
God, you know what? I'll allow it tonight. Up in the fireman's carry into a TKO. And Tony D'Angelo right back up in full control. And big clothesline to Dion, send him up and over the outside. Tony D in a whole different mood tonight. Good grief. I haven't seen this man fired up in a long time like this. And again, Dark State, who was previous NXT Tag Team Champions, of course, after beating the D'Angelo family. And Stacks, of course, betraying his family. Again, shoulder first, Mr. Ring.
I don't think I've seen Tony D this fired up since Stacks turned his back on him and they had a personal rivalry.
And of course, that left out Stacks from being the underboss to being the coward, the traitor, and of course, the lawyer. Rizzo also left, as well as his girl. Tony D was left completely alone. Mm-hmm. Now, Dion Lennox setting up Tony D's ankle on the steel ring steps. It might be the and Dion Lennox with the steel ring steps in the hand might be looking to shatter Tony D's ankle and permanently injure him. Good Lord.
But remember, there are disqualifications. It's a regular sanctioned match.
I don't think the rules matter at this point. Look at the eyes of Dion Lennox. You're talking about Tony D fired up. Dion Lennox, I haven't seen this much rage out of Dark State in general since they've been part of NXT. Oh, God!
I think them losing the title might have infused Dion Lennox.
Well, literally, Tony D thrown into the audience, and right now they're not taking it to the streets, they're taking it to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Lennox, you gotta get him in the ring to beat him, by the way. This is a match.
I don't think he gives a shit, dude.
Well, their 10 count needs to go into play. Referee needs to count these men out if it's going to come like this at this point. Oh, dear God. Looking for a deadlift. Damn it, suplex! Jesus Christ!
Through the freaking table.
What the fuck? Take a look at the replay here.
Mm-hmm.
Both men exploding through that announce table. Dion Lennox falling back first, head first, through that damn partition. I'm not sure who got the worst of that.
The crowd is chanting, "This is awesome."
I'm about to say, these officials, good luck with this guy's linear seat. The fact that he let these two men take it this far.
I'm only jealous of cameramen, never the referees that have to keep this intact.
Well, right now, Dion Lennox and Troy Durr on the risk of a count out. Referees count up to 5.
I don't think you can say the match is over and ring the bell. These two are still gonna go at it. I think they're gonna fight all the way to the airport.
And right now, Dion Lennox, we're going to say arrivederci to Tony D, hoisting him up. Slingshot. Sit out! Powerbomb! Cover to Dion. No, kick out by Tony D. How the hell did Tony D kick out of that?
I don't know. This is fucking ridiculous.
Full-on assault by Dion Lennox. Almost left Tony D in the dark with that assisted slingshot sit-out powerbomb.
Mind you, this is following a street fight.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you thought the street fight was spiteful? Here's a regular match with a pre-match assault.
Mm-hmm.
That's been everything but regular in sportsmanship.
I guess the girl said follow this, and Tony D said I'll take that offer.
Well, I mean, again, we did talk about before how there's a whole new landscape, almost feels like a new era. I mean, everyone right now is looking for their place, their chance, their new beginning. And Tony D, once again, might have found his second win, hooking the arms of Dion Lennox, a massive headbutt. Oh, what the hell is this? Whoa. Got counter. Dion Lennox hoisting up Tony D. Tony D counter again, pushing Dion, who stops going to the ropes. Spear!
A spear. That was about the most wrestling move we've seen this entire fight.
And listen to the NXT Universe come alive! Dion Lennox planted! Cover! 2! Tony D has won this fight!
It's over.
Bada bing, bada boom!
Bro, he fought for it.
Whoa!
He fought for it for sure.
What a fucking vengeful vendetta of a fight carried out by Dion Lennox and Tony D, who gets the victory tonight. And again, OTM in the locker room. Dark State has been the bane of NXT's existence. Tony D wasn't just fighting on behalf of a fallen family. He was behind on behalf of NXT and anyone who's been screwed or assaulted by Dark State. And Dark State left in the dark tonight.
Guess who's fighting for the NXT family? That's his family. We're his family now.
That's probably a strong argument after what we saw here. Again, that headbutt, double underhook, and again, the rage brought out of both these men. That set up that spear, breaking Dion Lennox in half. But planted with that one-arm choke bomb, Dion left in the dark tonight at Vengeance Day. And in doing so, Tony D might have freed himself from his own woes.
But you better get out of there before the rest of the Dark State pop out.
Well, you think Dark State learned their lesson? Will Tony D finally be able to move forward from his path? Or will Dark State be back with their own vengeance?
In a weird way, they might respect him after this shit.
Congratulations to Tony D winning this one-on-one match. And again, we get another commercial break. Fuck television. Good Lord almighty, these matches keep getting more and more intense. Well, Walter, do you think Dark State will finally be left in the dark and leave the NXT locker room alone, or do you think that Tony D and Lennox are far from done with one another after that?
We'll find out, I guess, on Tuesday. But wow.
Well, that being said, City by the Bay never heard of Dion Lennox. No one heard of Dion Lennox prior to last year. I know about Femi, of course, who said take your chance, and we saw Dion Lennox deliver one hell of an assault tonight. And Matthew, I think you're 110% right.
I'm just glad they changed his character. That nerdy guy who couldn't talk to women with the glasses and was reading books, that was a horrible character.
Yeah, well, again, we'll see what happens with Dion Lennox's character when it comes to what direction we move forward in when it comes to NXT. And again, Tony D did see that NXT championship first when it was vacated. Is that now Tony D's future? We'll have to find out later. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in as we, of course, continue our coverage here for Vengeance Day. I want to encourage you today to subscribe to Rage Rest if you haven't yet. For, of course, we are doing this across all the Super Reliable Studios channels. So please follow all of us. Continue to follow the coverage here at SR Studios 24, of course, where the coverage never stops when it comes to our love, passion, outlook for all things professional wrestling. Again, stay tuned for another interview tonight following our coverage of Vengeance Day, ahead of the Week Market Conversation Wrestling Match of the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by Record Wrestling JJ Williams. Tonight we'll be with Miss Kyle McKenna, part of Paul Mania. And again, folks, get your tickets now for Paul Mania, the kickoff to WrestleMania week's showcase of all things wrestling. This all-women super card, Paul Mania, available now. Tickets at everbright.com. Follow Ed and Sonia Antonio for further information. We will be covering that here, and I hope that you continue to follow us as we, of course, interview the great talent and staff of Paul Mania, including tonight. Well, Walter, again, 2 matches in and 3 matches to go, and both of them have been giant freaking fuck all rules, fuck all well-being. They've been brawls and fights galore. Good Lord.
I don't even think you can call them matches. And then we still got an underground coming. It's just going to get worse.
Walter, that's the definition of a fight. That's not even a match.
Exactly.
Hello, Lily. How are you, by the way? Good to see you. Good Lord.
It only goes up from here.
I'll say it once. I'll say it again. We've covered 2 WPLEs this year. It's the first NXT one. This show alone right now is better than both the Royal Rumble and this Chamber for me as a fan. I can't believe I just said that.
Right.
I think tonight NXT literally has taken over when it comes to we are the ones to watch out and we're the most hungry, and damn it, we're going to tell you why.
Speaking of that, we got to get together to decide these takeovers.
Yes, again, stay tuned, folks. We're literally going to take over some point very soon, covering the Black and Gold era, all 36 takeovers in full. Further details are to come, whether it's over a month or whether it's over a period of time. That is a promise from me and Walter to all of you, as we are Super Reliable and we are Black and Gold NXT for life. Speaking of Black and Gold NXT, the voice of that, of course, is Marvinello. Stay tuned when we cover Ring of Honor, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling Global Wars, where Marvinello will join Eric Abani in the commentary seat. And we'll be covering that and so much more at the Super Reliable Studios. I cannot wait for more on that. Speaking of further, you're about to say, you better be part of that one. Speaking of further coverage, stay tuned, of course, when we cover next weekend, AEW Revolution. Shout out to GCW team covering GCW. TNA Sacrifice will be the next show for TNA. And of course, WWE will see you all in Las Vegas for WrestleMania. Those are the next biggest shows coming up, of course, here in the Super Reliable Studios schedule. But stay tuned for all the other independent wrestling showcases and content that we have to come. And still coming out at Vengeance Day, to Walter's point, we got a legit fight in the underground with Lola vs. Kelani Jordan for the first time ever. Kelani Jordan's underground debut. Lola vs. undefeated in this domain with a bad hand, though. As of course, the only win is via knockout, pass out, or TKO. No pinfall. And of course, we still have Tatum Paxley challenging Izzy Dan for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And Hendry defending the NXT Championship against Ricky Saints. Still to come tonight at Vengeance Day. And Robert Stone will also have an announcement regarding the NXT Women's Championship as we look towards the next roadblock NXT faces before they stand to deliver. Good grief.
And I'm just saying, I have video proof that Lola actually called herself Mrs. Reliable. Ugh, that just did something to me.
All right, control yourself. Control yourself, bruv. I know that you're all about the mamacitas in your world. And speaking of world, you can go, of course, check out WWE World, the biggest super fan showcase for WWE fans, of course, in Las Vegas, April 16th through the 20th. photos, and of course, massive autograph opportunities available, your own entrance, all the memorabilia possible, live shows, live matches, the biggest superstar in WWE land here in the nation, all part of WrestleMania weekend. So if you have the money, go ahead and go for it. And speaking of going for it, Lola Vice is going into what she knows is a vulnerable fight, considering you see her right hand being taped up here tonight, Walter.
This is a different woman when she wears that gi too, man. Look at that. This is the one that I'm looking forward to too. Tatum and Izzy, like, who's nuttier? I don't know.
Well, Tatum Paxley says tonight that Izzy Dame will see the real Tatum Paxley because Tatum knows who she is. While Izzy Dame says she is unlovable, this is one friend that Izzy Dame might regret playing and tossing aside.
She doesn't even let the dolls affect her. She says she doesn't need the friends anymore and validation and other people's approval. We're her friends now and talking about the NXT universe. So, a different side of Tatum.
Well, I mean, the calling, when Tatum Paxley was left alone, considering, long ago, she was one for Live Accurate, but it was in October 2025. To your point, Tatum Paxley got the ultimate treat on a holiday full of tricks, the NXT Women's Championship that night against Jessie Jane. And of course, as we look at this video package, it was less than a month later at Gold Rush, November 2025, where, of course, Sam Paxley, being fighting champion, gave Jessie Jane her contracted rematch, and Izzy Dame cost Tatum Paxley her greatest accomplishment that night.
Would Tatum be the first two-time Women's North American champion if she wins?
That would be correct.
Wow.
And of course, we saw Tatum Paxley go into a state of despair and woe, being left completely alone.
Well, like that dollhouse, I wonder if the walls around Izzy will collapse.
And of course, January 2026 at New Year's Evil, it was Izzy Dame that took the opportunity from Thea Hill, who was not 100%, but Thea Hill was a fighting champion. She wanted that open challenge. And Izzy Dame came out from behind and took the opportunity away from Tatum Paxley. He was looking for it after beating Tatum Paxley that night. Despite the fact Tatum Paxley beat Izzy Dame was the one that won the gold and got the last laugh.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to play mind games, but I don't think you want to try to go inside a mind as warped as Tatum Paxley's.
But you also know how devious we've seen Izzy Dame come out since joining the calling.
Now, this is the video I was telling Nick about. Whether it was AI or not, they freaking did awesome with this video. That Tatum Paxley video.
Sometimes, Walter, you have to find yourself in your darkest moment to become what you thought you never could be. And
Like
Tatum Paxley apparently believes she found that.
Literally like a baptism. She went in the water, one person, and rose above it, a whole different person. Look at her.
Well, we'll see if she rises to the promise and finds her satisfaction in beating Izzy Dame for the NXT Women's North American Championship.
I went with a new champion, but we'll see.
The pain that Tatum Paxley's been put through the last few months by the calling is going to be delivered with interest tonight when Izzy Dame plays with Tatum Paxley, possibly for the last time.
Well, will she have a new playmate in an NXT North American Gold?
Time to find out. Everyone's favorite Little Lost Soul, inspired by Little Miss Bliss herself, Tatum Paxley, who's been involved in wrestling now for 4 years, of course, from the Texas area, former NXT Women's Champion. And you want to talk about somebody literally left out in the dark, but still accepted by everybody when she comes to light. That's been Tatum Paxley's story, particularly here in NXT.
I like the Mortal Kombat Jade inspired gear.
Everything that Tatum Paxley's been put through has made her into her own mind a free spirit, a better version of herself.
Mm-hmm.
And in becoming that, she might be more dangerous. We talked about how unhinged Dion and Tony D was and how spiteful and vengeful Blake Monroe and Jaida Parker was. Tatum Paxley has a whole mental case right now of giving a painful message that the calling will not soon forget.
I know. I between her and Wendy Chu, I didn't know which one was nuttier. I'm surprised they didn't make that team last longer.
Well, that being said, here comes our current NXT Women's North American Champion. And speaking of Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame, well, how about Izzy Dame's rise since joining the calling, almost being the decider, it feels like, of this group?
That's the issue too, man. Izzy Dame has 2 X Factors out there on the outside. I don't even think they should be allowed at ringside.
Well, it makes me wonder, does Izzy Dame want these two with her at ringside because she fears Tatum Paxley? Let's not forget the last time these two went one-on-one prior to New Year's Evil. It was Sean Spears and the other guy's influence with those dolls playing again on Tatum Paxley's heart, where it thought she had a family at one point. That cost her that match last night against Izzy Dame. Ever since then, Tatum Paxley's been chasing these two out with a chainsaw and threatening their very lives and existence. And she did get the better of Izzy Dame at New Year's Evil. These two are currently 1-1 against each other.
Yep, this is the third, the rubber match as they call it.
Let's go down to Mike Rome for their inductions.
1 fall. Dude, I don't think you and I have been more perfectly in sync than ever. I kind of heard your feed. We're like on the exact same wording.
I mean, that's just what happens sometimes, man. Once in a while, things just work out. As I said, folks, Tatum Paxley, literally 2-1 right now versus Izzy Dame. And as a former NXT Women's Champion, been involved in this business for only 4 years.
Look at the height difference.
Izzy Dame, been involved from the NIL program, second title defense, current NXT Women's North American Champion now for 60 days, formerly a volleyball player.
Look like volleyball is the way to be. Gymnastics and volleyball for the women and football for the men, if you want to transition.
So, I'm about to say. Of course, the NXT Women's North American title, first introduced a couple of years ago, won at the UFC Apex by Kelani Jordan, who was the inaugural champion. Izzy Dame is the 7th NXT Women's North American Champion. There has never been a 2-time Women's North American Champion. The reigns, we are underway. And the longest champion, by the way, was Saruka. Wow, man! Tatum Paxley immediately jumping into the arms, squeezing Izzy Dame. Good grief.
I don't think she was expecting that.
Well, I'm about to say again, how personal has this gotten? How much is Tatum Paxley inside Izzy Dame's head? We saw the way Izzy Dame reacted after Tatum Paxley walked off in that final face-to-face. She's the one that destroyed the dollhouse that night. At this point right now, Tatum Paxley has Izzy Dame in her world, not the opposite around.
Because she thought she was going to get in Tatum Paxley's into her head, and the fact that she couldn't do it, Izzy had to go to a plan B, I guess.
I guess so. That's one way of putting it. And Tatum Paxley, by the way, who's been involved in NXT since 2022, arriving on the scene as a tag partner alongside Ivy Nile.
I don't know
her background in cheerleading.
I don't know if you would want to get into a mental warfare with someone as nutty as Tatum Paxley.
But I will say this when it comes to the women's division of NXT. Whoa! Nice rolling senton off the stairs. Wiping out Izzy Dame on the floor again, though. This is the first title match tonight, might I add. Title can only just hands via pinfall or submission inside the ring. Count qualification means nothing. Double underhook as Izzy Dame pushes Tatum Paxley into the steel ring steps. And both these women, no prior wrestling experience to NXT. Both coming from a collegiate background.
I wonder if Izzy might have underestimated Tatum, even though they've been in the ring more than, this is the third time. You would think she would know what to expect, but Tatum came out on fire.
A big high kick there as Tatum Paxley brings the champion back inside again. These two are 1-1 against each other. Split leg, elbow drop, cover, 2 count, almost to new champion.
There's some of that cheerleading background with that split-legged elbow.
I'm about to say, let's remember, though, here again, as you pointed out, Sean Spears and his crony are at ringside. Remember, when Izzy Dame joined the calling, she's the reason Brooks Jensen was excommunicated because failure was unacceptable. Double underhook suplex by Tatum Paxley. Again, the strength of Tatum Paxley should not be underestimated. Looking for that cemetery driver, of course, that modified lightning spiral. Meanwhile, pop-up, roll through, inside cradle by Tatum gets a 2 count. As Izzy Dame was looking for game over. A schoolgirl by Tatum gets a 1 count here. Oh man! It just drives her elbow through Tatum. You talk about the hype, but don't underestimate Tatum Paxley's strength by the way either. She also is a former powerlifter. Probably wouldn't believe it if you saw her, though. About to say, this would be a therapist's worst nightmare here. Freaking Tatum Paxley and Izzy Dame. Not even Dr. Shelby would be able to figure out these two. Quack. Get to the midsection right now. Rising knee to the midsection by Izzy. Irish whip reversal. Face first because Izzy Dame nearly a turnbuckle, preventing the collision. Of course, Izzy Dame, as I said, folks, current NXT Women's North American Champion. Now she is the 7th Women's North American Champion. And this is actually her firm second defense tonight. Big boot through Tatum Paxley after surviving a triple threat against Lola Vice and Thea Hale.
That boot was ridiculous.
Of course, Izzy Dame took advantage of a vulnerable Thea Hale that wanted to fight as champion after losing to Tatum Paxley on the same night at New Year's Eve to seize this title.
She literally took advantage of her freaking emotions, man. She played Tatum like a puppet on a string the whole time, and we knew it once she joined the calling. I saw it coming.
Well, again, everyone saw it coming, but Tatum Paxley, she felt like for once she was finally accepted for who she was. She wasn't alone. She had a family to go to. And unfortunately, she learned the hard way that not everybody in this life can be your friend.
She's too trusting, and I had to learn that in real life the hard way.
Well, sometimes the harshest lessons are learned the hard way, Walter. And tonight, Tatum Paxley is looking to teach a lesson in respect to Izzy Dame, but right now Izzy Dame in full control of the challenger.
Well, they may, like I said at the beginning, they may be in the sunny Orlando, Florida, but they say Vengeance.
Wait, hold that thought. The school go to roll counter. 2 count. As you were saying, right now Izzy Dame caught up by Izzy, trapped in the crucifix, gets a 2 count.
This is all about Tatum Paxley Vengeance.
Again, near the midsection there to Tatum Paxley. Now Izzy Dame setting up Tatum here for something devastating in the corner. Just driving her boot through Tatum's midsection.
Not just her vengeance, but it's her redemption.
It's kind of the story of the cover. 2 count, hook on the far leg. It's almost the story of the matches here tonight. Vengeance, redemption, accomplishment. And at the end of the day, people are looking for closure. And I think that's another key thing here, closure. And I think Tatum Paxley's been looking for this closure since the fallout with the calling. Meanwhile, Izzy Dame just wants to make sure Tatum Paxley no longer is in the calling's way. Abdominal stretch being applied here by the statuesque Izzy Dame over the much shorter Tatum Paxley. After extending the midsection and almost a nerve hold there, or excuse me, hold of the tights for extra leverage. You hear Sean Spears from ringside calling out orders as well, also guiding and literally teaching Izzy Dame. Let's not forget Sean Spears was the mastermind behind all this when Izzy Dame betrayed the Tony D family and first joined the calling. And now Tatum Paxley has Izzy Dame trapped in the abdominal stretch.
He's the mastermind of a lot because he's a trainer, man. He trains a lot of these people. A lot of successful people in both AEW and here have come from his school.
And flatbacks, of course, as you talked about, of course, trained as well with Tyler Breeze, as well as Lone Stone accomplishing Bailey. Of course, the next Lone Stone seminar will be in Las Vegas this week, WrestleMania week. And right now, again, Tatum Paxley trying to get the better of Izzy Dame. Tatum Paxley, by the way, folks, is 5'5", 121 pounds. Little shorty.
Ooh.
The backbreaker over the knee. Great scouting by Izzy Dame. Running senton. High stack cover by the champion. 2 count. No pressure on the shoulders there.
That's a weird cover, but I think it shows she can go for that Boston Crab.
Well, again, Izzy Dame with the height advantage. 5'10", might I add. Out of the Michigan area, bi-state area.
I don't know
And
why.
I don't know right now. You were saying?
5'10" and 6 feet on a woman looks so much taller than it like.
TV does
ridiculous.
TV does not do statuesque female wrestlers justice. I'm just going to say that for the record. Lena Cross, who out-heightens Megan Bain, by the way, in AEW. And look at this modified Boston Crab, to your point. Almost a lion tamer, high angle.
Yeah, she's got that knee.
Literally.
Oh, I thought the knee was in the back of her shoulder. It was on the mat.
Yeah, about to say it wasn't like properly positioned there. That might go to the inexperience of Izzy Dame still, who again is very young. Both these women, by the way, are still very young in this business. Pushed off in the ropes, and again, Sam Paxley, the roll through into her own full Boston Crab.
Wow! The way she did that was kind of cool.
Yeah, but again, though, the reach of Izzy Dame allows her immediately to get to the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy Dame, though, again, trying to get the better of Sam Paxley, sends him over the outside. A little bit of separation created between champion and challenger. Up in the fireman's carry, and once again, maybe looking for Dame over. Push face first into the ring post.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to make yourself here in NXT, you got to realize that you have to do it alone sometimes, and you have to realize who you are to do it, and that will be the Tam Paxley story tonight if she beats Izzy Dame. Nice thrust kick there.
Yeah, she might have put her out of her misery. She look like she in La La Land right now.
Tam Paxley certainly feeling something here right now, and Izzy Dame runs through Tam Paxley. Tam getting the better right now of the exchange. Right now looking for a comeback. Up and around, high kick catching Izzy again. And a German suplex release by the former powerlifter.
Izzy might be seeing dollhouses spinning around her head right now instead of those birds.
Setting up and over on the apron. Shoulder block. Tam Paxley lands on the floor. Step of Enziguri. Rocks Izzy Dame.
Oh, dude, you know the height she just had to climb to do that?
And right now, somersault. Driving the leg across the back of the head and neck to cover with the new leg at 2.5. That was a beautiful somersault scissor kick. Almost a somersault leg drop against the back of the head and neck. Nearly crowned a new NXT Women's North American champion.
I thought it was over with that.
Innovative offense here by Tam Paxley, of course. That goes back to how unorthodox she really is.
I would stay out of that corner where the calling is, though.
And notice no imitation, though, by Tam Paxley with the calling at ringside. Now going up to the top turnbuckle. Oh, man!
The last thing I would do is go in the corner where those two men are.
Well, I mean, Tam Paxley's no stranger to pulling off high-risk offense. We know she can do at 450. And right now, I sense disaster. Front face like applied by Izzy Dame. Possibly looking for a superplex on Tatum Paxley. Tatum fighting back, though. Big elbow. Rocks the champion. Both women precariously perched on the second. Creating separation. Tatum takes Izzy down. Izzy in the drop zone on Tatum Paxley. Forfeit rolls inside. Izzy Dame, though. Running shotgun drop kick. And that might be it. The high stack cover 2 count only on Tatum Paxley. Wow.
I think she heard you when you said we know she could do a 450. She went right for it.
And again, though, Izzy Dame, great scouting and then running in with that shotgun drop kick. But Tatum Paxley still kicked out.
You gotta wonder at the plan all along. You know, when they welcomed her into the family, she had to be studying her and being in the ring with her. She's gonna know her inside out because.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, well, here's the thing, Walter. Who learned more about one another during their time in the con? Did Tatum learn more about Izzy or did Izzy learn more about Tatum? Because what I see here, Tatum learned more about herself more than anything, and that might be the most crucial factor here.
I don't think she would. She had blinders on. She wouldn't learn from Izzy because she wasn't looking out or studying for that. Izzy knew the plan the whole time, so she would study her, learn her moves. Izzy was just looking for a friend. I mean, Tatum was just looking for a friend, and like you said, I like the way you put that. She learned more about herself rather than more about Izzy.
Well, right now we're learning about the heart of Tatum Paxley here. Driving face first to the knee, goes Izzy Dame, grabbing the carrot. Tatum Paxley trying to get the better of this exchange. High kick, rocks Izzy to the corner again. Both women go for it. Stops! What a spine buster.
That was that Izzy drive, or the Tatum.
Oh, you're right. That was game over. That's the high drop. Yeah. And now to the top rope. 450 connects. We got the champion, the cover 2. Oh, man.
Yo, that shoulder barely got up.
How the hell did Izzy Dame survive that?
Pure instinct. I don't even think she meant, I don't think she put the effort to kick out. It was just instinct.
It's all about the NXT Women's North American Championship on the marquee, but it's about so much more for Tatum Paxley. And Tam Patsy right now might be looking for that cemetery driver. Countered though by Izzy Dame, rocking her up and over. It lands on the apron. Another high kick, rocks Izzy. Tam trying to find the moment she needs to put Izzy down, but another boot to the side of the head rocks Tatum. And Izzy now might have Tatum hooked up. Oh! What a cutter over the shoulder. Cover to retain the title. Kick out too by Tatum Paxley.
Tatum's still there.
Up and over with almost a TKO cutter over the shoulder. Still not enough to put down the challenger. And right now, Izzy Dame might be at her odds wit's end. Going to Shawn Spears right now for counsel. And how many times have we seen a champion in this situation, though? This is what defines the champion versus someone that's transitional. And the fear right now in Izzy Dame's eyes told the story right there as Tatum again on the attack, catching Izzy head first inside the ropes. And what is Tatum looking for here? Looking for a run up, follow up and over. Sunset, like power on the floor.
Onto the apron. The back of her head hit nothing but pure mat.
Good Lord.
Ridiculous.
Look at Spears right now in disbelief.
Holy shit, indeed.
Both women down and out on the floor as the referee's 10 count begins after Tatum Paxley hit, you heard me right, over the top. Sunset flip power bomb from the apron to the floor. And right now is the critical reset moment. But of course, Tatum knows the way she can win the title is pinning the champion inside the ring.
It's all about momentum right now.
And Tatum, though, cannot let Shawn Spears get in his head or distract him. The referee still counting. Tatum, get back inside! Jesus! Oh, wait a minute, got caught. Game over! Dame at the cover, falls and kicked out by Tatum!
You gotta believe it was because of that nonchalant-ass way she covered her.
Shawn Spears is stunned. Izzy Dame is stunned, but to your point, she literally fell into that cover. Was that her last reserve? Was that her last resort?
She is pissed off. She can't believe Tatum kicked out.
And the NXT Universe believes in Tatum Paxley. Now looking for a gut wrench. Dame over, counter by Tatum Paxley. Hook of the leg, cover two. Oh, able to kick out. Oh, and Shawn Spears got rocked. Oh, but Izzy Dame rocks Shawn Spears off the apron. And Tatum taking advantage for corner roll kickoff. From first goes her cold breaker kick. What the hell?
She backflipped out of it.
There's a woman possessed on revenge. Rolling copper kick.
There's her move. Cemetery driver.
Modified lightning spiral cover. Tatum Paxley's the new NXT Women's North American Champion.
The first ever two-time Women's North American Champion.
Tatum did it.
You talk about redemption. Woo!
Talk about literally waking up from your own set nightmares as Tatum Paxley is accepted by the NXT Universe as the new NXT Women's North American Champion. To your point, Walter, she is the first ever two-time NXT Women's North American Champion. Dame over for Izzy.
She rose from the grave. Oh my God.
That was
awesome.
amazing. Again, to your point, this Dame over was the way she beat her last time, but to your point, Izzy only fell into the cover.
Yeah,
but it was 2 and 9 attempts, and that was the last chance that Izzy had to hold on to her championship. It was that look right there that Izzy knew her days was numbered unless she went to an absolute means that Izzy didn't expect. Tail end of this match, as we saw that miscommunication, that coldbreaker escape, to your point, handstand, Tatum Paxley rising back from the dead, as Izzy sees the horror she's unleashed on herself. And the most satisfying cemetery driver I've ever seen. Rest in peace, Izzy Dame and the calling.
She's accepted by the proper family, the NXT Universe.
Izzy Dame learned exactly who the real Tatum Paxley is and now sees her with her title, the NXT Women's North American Championship. Congratulations to Tatum Paxley.
Way to redeem yourself.
What a moment of vengeance and redemption, both found at the same time. Couldn't be happier for that young lady, honestly.
She's got a notebook. Oh, it's time to switch gears, though.
Well, there you see Kelani Jordan preparing for her first ever fight in the underground, entering Lola Vice's world will gymnastics overcome. As we see backstage, OTM was part of that brawl as we go to Blake Howard backstage. And so far, I am 3-0.
2-1.
And I will say this, again, this show so far has been the best thing W put out this year.
Oh, yeah.
This is extremely impressive, I have to admit.
Yep. ODM letting you know that was not for Tony Day. It was about them.
Well, I mean, hey, if you want to make a name for yourself, you need to make sure that your name's in the conversation. This team's been looking to get out of the mud by name since being part of NXT. And again, stand and deliver season. Everyone wants to stand and deliver. This is NXT's WrestleMania. You know OTM wants to go after those tag team championships that are no longer on Dark State. They're on the Vanity Project.
Well, tonight they stood. We'll see if they can deliver. Stability, recognition.
There's the key word.
And gold.
This is the most personality I've seen out of these two, honestly.
Mm-hmm. They're hungry, and it's time to go eat.
Well, clearly they want a full platter. Coming up next, NXT Underground into this commercial break. Fuck television. Walter, wow. What a coming out for Tatum Paxley.
Really? Seriously, dude. NXT's on fire tonight, I told you.
Again, TV show is questionable, but at one point you and I were NXT, but you have stood by this NXT for the ups and downs and Rainbow Bright shit, and so far, this new renaissance of this reinvigorated locker room and open more roster has really come out to stand and deliver.
Exactly. That'll be the next time they come out.
Yes, to your point, they will stand and deliver from St. Louis, Missouri, a city so rich in the history of professional wrestling. But of course, you all can continue to follow NXT on the CW on a weekly basis as their road to stand and deliver goes through Houston, Texas, and Madison Square Garden. As we go to Robert Stone, the interim general manager of the ring, regarding the state of NXT and maybe the NXT Women's Championship. Let's hear what Mr. Stone has to say.
Is this not a hot start?
I gotta admit, you're actually doing a decent job.
He's introducing Fatal Influence.
I will say this about a Fatal Influence. They have been the Fatal Influence of this NXT since Jessie Jane WTF'd us last year and won the NXT Women's Championship against Stephanie Valkyrie. Far more from just a second wheel. She has become the real deal, the face of NXT, and she's been that now for almost a year with the help of the newly added Lainey Reed and the current NXT Speed Champion, Fallon Henley.
She's showing that it wasn't just a fluke, because I thought it was a fluke when she beat Steph.
I may not like Jessie Jane, and this may not be my NXT, but I will not deny the dominance of presence and push that this division has had at the forefront with Fatal Influence. And later Reed adding to the ranks late last year has only made this trio even more stronger.
Hell yeah.
We, of course, saw Jessie Jane involved for the first time ever in the Women's Royal Rumble earlier this year. And, of course, we know that Thea Hill is now in the semifinals of the NXT Speed Tournament for Fallon Henry's Speed Championship, a title that, for somehow, some way, is more relevant than Jade Cargill and the SmackDown Women's Championship. As much as I hate to say it. Presented, defended, chased after, acknowledged. And Jessie Jane has been one hell of a champion. All right, well, I guess we're going to hear what the champion has to say.
State of this union.
That's all odds.
That's a TNA PLE. Stop making puns. That's my job.
Well, I mean, to be fair, dude, she's made a bigger impact than the TNA Knockouts Championship has since it's been hot potato between this brand, and she's literally held it once.
Right.
Quiet? The fuck you talking about? I fucking hate you.
Did she just call us loser or the women's locker room?
I'm pretty sure everybody, because let's be honest, like I said, before she won that title last year, who was Jessie Jane but an extra?
She was the third wheel, dude.
Yeah, I wonder who you're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I mean,
wow, she's being real right now, though.
Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta realize what brought you to the dance, and you gotta reflect and realize what got you there, and it was yourself. Again, to your point, Walter, she was happy to just have a spot, but now she's the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
She literally is going to headline, stand, and deliver for the women's division. There's no denying it now.
And I can see that 2 years ago.
As much as I hate to say this, I agree with her. She should be the main event, stand, and deliver. She's been the most prolific figure in NXT consistently.
I agree with her too.
Now looking towards even further than that, to main event WrestleMania. All right, big aspirations.
Hey man, you gotta have some confidence in yourself.
Well, clearly she's found that confidence in herself as leading Fatal Influence since winning this title last year.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, Fatal Influence has been some of the most prolific trios matches this NXT has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
This incarnation of Fatal Influence, I mean. I don't know about that. If Delta was Delta, you probably would not be holding that title if it wasn't for Soruka.
Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be a triple threat between those three.
It makes the most sense. Uh-oh, say her name and she appears. It's really easy to be confident when the biggest opposition in the NXT locker room is not in front of your face.
True indeed.
Of course, Zarya, who betrayed her longtime tap partner and friend, Soruka. Soruka is no longer a thing. Now Zarya is a woman of her own, and we might finally see Delta in NXT since we saw her face Leland Lee for the TNA Knockouts World Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget, Soruka has snatched Jessie Jane not once, but twice, including eliminating her from the Royal Rumble.
Right. Souls X? Is that what her shirt say? Really?
That's exactly what that says.
You could stand to see your bell.
I mean, tells those tattoos itself. Who's the Margin A? Who's the Shawn Michaels? Who was on Saturday night's main event facing and beating Bayley? Okay, this is starting to turn NXT TV, and I don't know if I like this. If we're driving PLE, let's get back to wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I understand we're in the TV arena, but now you're starting to piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were getting an announcement. Just make the triple threat. It doesn't get easier than that. Unless they do a number one contenders match at Roadblock, and we see who stands deliver against Jessie Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Stone, grow a scent. Tell the women to shut the fuck up.
Right? Take control of your show, dude.
Interim general manager, my left foot. Shoot, there's a reason why I'm single. I have no problem telling a woman to shut the fuck up. Well, now that we're finally done with this freaking wipeout, let's hang out with Soruka and have her join the party.
Surf's up.
Typical WWE segment.
When did we change the channel to Monday Night Raw?
Don't trigger me, bruv. Talk about wasting time. And here I thought this was on takeover level.
Mhm.
I forgot. This is WNXT, not NXT. You
They have to
almost fooled me. You almost fooled
They
me.
have to space some time between matches to get the
Spend some
underground
time,
set up.
my ass. He could have did an interview from backstage.
They're probably setting up the underground.
Then do it on television on Tuesday night where none of these women are booked tonight. It's a TV segment. Fuck that shit. God bless it. Fucking hell. Nobody would know a pay-per-view that bit them in the rear end ass.
Right?
This is literally an opening segment for Tuesday night NXT.
It's true. The opening segment. Can we just get to Mamacita versus Kelani, please?
This entire time they could have literally disassembled the ring.
Right.
What?
Is that the main event this coming Tuesday?
Apparently.
We knew that was coming. You could have just announced it without all this shit.
Well, and now Fatal Influence with 301 assault on Soruka and Zarya not doing a thing about it. As he picks her spot. And again, Zarya, the only thing that matters to her is the NXT Women's Championship. But I also do wonder if revenge matters to her as well. Because let's not forget, Soruka snatched Zarya's soul last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone for themselves, apparently this Tuesday on NXT, up in the fireman's carry as Jessie Jane able to escape. Meanwhile, Soruka, snacks Zarya's soul after it found Hendry say Jessie Jane their knee strike run up by Lady Reed. Let's not forget, triple threat. There's no disqualification. Fatal Influence is free to get involved and call distraction. And if we see something like that on Tuesday night, Jessie Jane's going to stand and deliver this year for NXT's grandest stage. Well, that's 15 minutes of my life we're not going to get back because we get a commercial break.
Plus the commercial break, too.
And again, I say fuck television, and yep, it got again. Not my NXT! Fucking hell. This was never Black and Gold's problem. Anyway, as we got a commercial break, again, folks, to bring up the speed, yes, this coming Tuesday in Houston, Texas, fuck Roadblock or Stand Deliver. Hell, when it's the problem to run it back. Then again, what happened last night was the problem if we did get a surprise change because WTF's on the formula of WWE lately, right? We're just ripping the script and put whatever we want on the marquee by name power. Apparently, Walter, it's going to be Jessie Jane versus Zarya versus Soruka in a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship this coming Tuesday on NXT.
Yep, apparently.
Well, place your bets, folks. Who's going to stand delivered? Does this match get run back, thrown out? Does this become a clusterfuck? Let your thoughts be known for the NXT Women's Championship. Speaking of championships, for those that don't know, last night on Friday Night SmackDown, it was Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And the American Nightmare will now stand deliver on the grandest stage against the Viper, Randy Orton, as Cody Rhodes is the new undisputed WWE Champion. Again.
And who called it?
Are you?
Mm-hmm. I knew where they were going the whole time. It's kind of obvious.
Well, you know, you're hoping for Nick Aldis versus Drew McIntyre. You got Jacob Fatu saying Drew did it. Jacob Fatu's got to be part of WrestleMania. Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
Fatu or Drew or
Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, longest legacy since 2008. You have to write the closing chapter of that story. It is what it is in WWE land. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway.
He's going off to film Highlander anyway, so.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. In other wrestling news, again, I encourage you to follow Pro Wrestling Eve on YouTube and watch Wrestle Kingdom 8 tomorrow. That is 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively for members, as you can see. And also, I just learned today, Will and I are going to be defending the TBS Championship against Nina Samuels, one of the most prolific Pro Wrestling Eve wrestlers on that roster. Of course, Sapphire reaches on Asume. Siri defends the NWA Women's Championship against Alex Windsor. Chris Statlander defends the Even Championship against the returning Dakota Kai to wrestling, aka Charlie. Harley Cameron is about to try and take the head off a cunt against Mira Blair. By the way, Walter, that's what they literally said in the promo. You got to go see the promo. It was fucking hilarious. Mia Yamashita, Jamie Hayter, and so many others in the Sun Def 16. First pinfall submission gets a chance at any championship in Pro Wrestling Eve in this over-the-top rope crazy combination battle royal. And Session Martinez looks to restore Eve to former glory, taking the Eve Championship from Rico in the main event. Look at all these matches, by the way, folks. Every match, considering International Women's Weekend, are different internationalities across the board. None of them are from the same country on both sides of the marquee. I love this fucking card. Again, folks, that's Wrestle Kingdom 8, Pro Wrestling Eve YouTube for members only, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Please watch it. You will never see something more wild for women's wrestling than Pro Wrestling Eve, I assure you. And of course, speaking of women's wrestling, as I talked about, stay tuned for our interview with Kyle McKenna, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we continue covering the talent of Paul Mania. And of course, if you haven't already, get your tickets for Paul Mania, of course, in Las Vegas via the Everbright League at Ed in San Antonio's X. There you see the card. So many names you know versus other names you will learn to know are on this card, including the two: Rachel Leigh, Leva Bates, Sue Young, Heather Land, of course, the announcer, Brittany Blake, Shotzi Blackheart, Danny Mo, who was just in Pro Wrestling Eve, by the way, Sasha McKenzie, and so many others. That and so much more at Paul Mania, April 15th, the kickoff to WrestleMania week for all the wrestling. Las Vegas week for wrestling, or WrestleMania. And of course, speaking of wrestling, the Mecca of sports entertainment, Madison Square Garden, will play host to NXT Tuesday, March 31st at Roadblock, the final stop before NXT stands and delivers. We go backstage now to Charlie Dempsey, part of the No Quarter Catch crew. And what?
This No, this actually makes sense. He needs to join them for real. It would just make total sense.
There's one thing that doesn't make sense on this screen, if you know what I mean, Walter. And I'm trying my best to not.
I know. The title being on the wrong person.
excuse me while I go throw up. No more TNA! That just made me throw up a little bit in my mouth. Anyway, moving on. Again, speaking of other things, wrestling, stay tuned for Battle Bracket Breakdown at the end of the New Japan Cup that's currently going on right now. If you haven't already, subscribe to our Shinian Pro Wrestling correspondent, Battle for Wrestling, our Canadian friend, Ash. I'm going to see if I can coordinate with her, of course, for a preview of the finals to continue the New Japan Cup coverage continues forward. Stay tuned for more on her channel for that. Anyway, the home of NXT itself, Orlando, Florida. By the way, speaking of Florida, Ring of Honor now has a home in Florida, and I love their studio stuff. So go check that out if you get a chance to via Honor Club. As we get ready now to go down underground for this fight with Lola Vice and Kelani Jordan. And again, Walter, you covered every NXT Underground match since this became a foundation of NXT. And you know as well as I do what the rules are when it comes to this. So why don't you go ahead and remind the people what this is about?
The only two ways you can win are literally getting knocked the F out or submission. There are no other rules aside from that. There's literally no ropes on the ring. Check out Bloodsport. So it's pretty much the same thing, and they're going through Kelani Jordan's history as a gymnast. I hope they show. Yep, they're gonna show Lola's MMA career. Look at that, the UFC.
Well, again, Walter, you as an MMA correspondent know how much this is a clash of styles, usually under mixed martial arts affair. But for the first time ever, we have gymnastics taking on mixed martial arts. And to think, Kelani Jordan was a former TNA Knockouts World Champion and the inaugural Women's North American Champion. And ever since she won that title and went into business for herself, she became an afterthought here in NXT. She became excommunicated by this entire locker room. Lola Vice at the forefront of it.
Yeah, they pushed her. They literally pushed her out of the locker room.
And of course, Lola Vice, your mamacita, who has become one of the biggest trailblazers in NXT, now one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions alongside Mr. Iguana, stood strong for NXT at NXT Showdown that night.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came to Lola Vice versus Kelani Jordan, who eliminated who? Lola eliminated Kelani.
Yep, the reckoning.
And then the reckoning came forward.
Mm-hmm.
As of course, after Kelani Jordan lost the TNA Knockouts World Championship, she decided to put her gear back in the locker room where she belongs, and Lola Vice wasn't feeling it.
Gymnastics is nothing compared to MMA, Lola told me.
Yeah, this became more than just about brand loyalty. This became about whose discipline is stronger. And Lola Vice proved that, knocking Kelani Jordan the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
But Kelani Jordan was far from done with Lola Vice that night, Walter.
Oh, yeah, she came in, snuck him behind her, grabbed the ladder, hurt that left hand. Her move is literally a spinning back fist with that left hand. So
and
she
it was
took
that.
out.
And it was that hand that knocked Kelani Jordan out. Kelani promised that Lola Vice will never knock her out again. But now Lola Vice is taking Kelani Jordan to her world, the underground. And again, she is 3-0 in this forum.
She dragged her down. The doctor suggested she don't go through with it, but she signed every waiver, released NXT from any liability.
About to say.
But you gotta admire the gall it takes for Kelani to go down to Lola's world and try to beat her at her own game.
Yeah, but again, pride before the fall, though, Walter. I say it many, many times before. We know the victims of Lola Vice in the underground, but we also know that Kelani Jordan can tap Lola Vice out if she takes advantage of that exaggerated injury. And these two have not been able to keep each other apart since that match where she further injured that arm and got the better of her.
But just imagine Kelani a certain clutch might come out after she went through somebody to get some tips and some training for this kind of match.
But there you see contingency of NXT slamming the mat as the lights go dark for this underground fight. NXT Underground, folks. Again, no countouts, no counts, no pinfalls. And the only way to win is by knockout, TKO, or submission. Lola Vice record in Underground is 3-0 with wins over Jaida Parker, Shayna Baszler, and her first ever one was against Natalya.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if gymnastics can literally be the force against combat. Because here comes Kelani Jordan. She looks like she is literally ready to square up.
Yeah, she's got the MMA gloves. Make sure her hair is braided so it can't be pulled or anything.
But Walter, you know as well as I do that it's a whole different ball game when you go from flipping to striking. And she literally is in the ring with a lethal striker.
One of the most lethal strikers. That back fist has knocked out many of people.
But I will give Kelani Jordan credit. Evasive measures might be the catalyst to success for Kelani Jordan tonight, as we saw in her training with Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler unable to grab Kelani Jordan until she was finally able to, could allow Kelani to find the opening she needs. Oh, here we go.
Remember, with no ropes, that's like a 10-foot straight drop if you fall outside the ring.
And Kelani Jordan knows nothing about that.
Mm-hmm. This is as much as This is her element. Mamacita's element.
I'm about to say, you got a very subtle demeanor on you tonight. Almost sounds like you're worried considering Lola Vice is coming in here injured.
Yeah, that hand is not 100%. I don't care how much wrap you put around it underneath that glove.
And by the way,
And
that is her father, by the way, to see her daughter in action. The first time seeing her daughter in action since challenging Jessie Jane for the NXT Women's Championship, and Laney Reed joining Fatal Influence that night, preventing Lola from seizing the championship.
And we know how well that went in front of your family last time.
Let's see what happens here. Mike Rome, get us the introductions before this fight begins.
And you know what can happen, man? You might risk it all trying to knock her out and further injure your hand, and now you're out of action. You might have won the match, but you would lose the war. So she's really got to be careful.
That's the risk that Lola Vice is willing to take for vengeance. I like the little mic thing here. Not even grabbing the mic, but literally talking into it. Different feeling tonight in the building. Kelani Jordan, as I said, this is her underground debut, but the last time she faced Lola Vice Women in a wrestling match, she tapped her out. And of course, your Mamacita is 3-0, the queen of the underground, and is one half of the current AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions. Little sister versus big sister here. Little sister versus big sister here, it looks like, when it comes to these two in this locker room.
Bro, look at the look on both their faces.
Lola's usually happy-go-lucky. And get away.
Dude, Lola's usually happy-go-lucky, nice, smiling. She is serious right now. She's all one-handed, immediately goes for an armbar.
Here's your Katami, but again, the wrist lock here. And again, Walter, to your point, Kelani Jordan knows she can make Lola Vice tap out. Lola knows she can knock out Kelani Jordan, but can she knock her out with that compromised hand? That's the X factor here.
Ooh, Kelani almost turned that into a muffler.
Again, though, you see right now, Lola Vice back on top, Kelani covering up here. And again, Kelani's got to remember, there are no pinfalls here. Right now, trapped in the triangle, but again, you see the way that the left core of Lola was exposed to Kelani taking advantage. Now pressing the right hand down, trying to damage the right hand.
Lola tried to do a combination of a triangle armbar.
Again, Lola knows she has to protect that hand. You saw Kelani immediately was going after it. It's also one of those things, Walter, you think about a fighter, are they only more lethal with one hand versus the other, or can they adapt to be just as powerful with their other?
I'm not comparing a human being to
animals,
but and they'll take it the way it sounds, but you ever heard of that a wounded animal is more dangerous? That could be the truth, man. When you're wounded and you got to protect something, you can be more dangerous. Nice submission game by Kelani. Shayna's really been teaching her some stuff.
Well, considering Shayna Baszler was a student of Josh Barnett, the pioneer of friggin' Bloodsport, you're going to go see live in Las Vegas. Whoa! Look for that spinning back fist. Now go over those spinning kicks. The fastest strikes in NXT belong, of course, to Lola Vice. Kelani now trying to go to the outside. And right now, Kelani grabbing that hand. And uh-oh.
That's smart.
Oh, no!
You may not like it, but there's no rules, so how smart is it? I damn sure don't like it. You know that.
Well, I'm about to say, I applaud you for being absolutely unbiased and integral in your analysis, something I know you can, being our feature MMA expert. Stay tuned, folks, when Walter also covers Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, of course, from the Intuit Dome to come forward later this year on our Simple Live Studios watch-along schedule. And again, Kelani immediately focusing the attack on that hand. Remember, it was a hammer lock modified on that hand that allowed Kelani Jordan to beat Lola Vice via submission.
Yeah, man. Then she ducked under that spinning back fist and through the stage, Lola hit hand. That's what initially broke it.
And again, you see right now the focus attack on Lola Vice on that right hand by Kelani Jordan. Again, this is what the freaking catch cam style is all about. Dissecting your opponent, focusing on a body part. Now trying to move the glove and expose the hand. And now the bones are now exposed, and Kelani driving her knee into that hand.
But again, I mean, wounded animal, you might be. Oh, I thought she was going to go for the other one.
Well, we talked about before, again, the most lethal weapon of Lola Vice is that right hand, that spinning backhand, to your point. And Kelani is aware of it. And Kelani promised herself, you will never knock me the fuck out again with it.
Oh
And
my
Kelani,
God! Standing moonsault onto the hand.
From a
Dude,
hammerlock.
I don't think I've ever seen this side of Kelani.
Again, this is gymnastics versus mixed martial arts in combat for the first time ever in NXT Underground. A different style of Kelani Jordan has to come out tonight if she's going to win here.
I told you not to underestimate her. That people just assume because Lola's in her element. You cannot look past anyone. Anyone can be beaten at any time.
And right now, Kelani Jordan with a far better MMA debut versus CM Punk as she drags Lola Vice to the ring post here. And again, working that hand against the unforgiving steel.
Ask Conor McGregor how it feels to underestimate someone. He went into the Nate Diaz and gave Nate Diaz the biggest win of his career in the UFC and shot him into superstardom, all because he underestimated someone and took him lightly.
Yeah, but also on a surprise, much to your point, Ronda Rousey got caught off guard by Holly Holm, and the rest is history.
Yeah, but that's because Ronda took her lightly. She called her a preacher's daughter and didn't take her kickboxing serious.
Again, I wonder if Lola Vice is taking Kelani Jordan's gymnastics background seriously now, considering the damage that Kelani's been able to do with it. Face first off the ring post, though, goes Kelani Jordan as Lola Vice creates separation. You see Lola still trying to feel out that hand. Again, how much has Kelani Jordan compromised Lola's greatest weapon?
That forehead definitely hit that pole.
If I remember correctly, I believe Lola Vice is the only one that's been involved in every NXT Underground match.
Yep.
The fourth one ever in NXT history.
Everything she does. Kelani targets the hand.
Spinning Sovat, right hand, left hand. Now the waistlock applied. German suplex. You don't see that in freaking MMA.
A low German suplex too.
And again, right now, Lola Vice only has one gear, and that's to move forward. Again, going for the round kicks now. Getting the better of Kelani Jordan. Spinning roundhouse. Again, connected to the core, trying to compromise the breathing of Kelani. Lightning fast strikes now, rocking Kelani. Whip for the spinning back heel. And again, Kelani with her own push. Whoa, man!
Knocked her into, I almost said lumberjacks, but they aren't lumberjacks.
They're bystanders. They're spectators. And literally, Kelani got knocked the fuck out of the ring.
Oh, what the hell is on Mamacita's mind?
Oh, man! And Kelani pulling another bystander out of the way, but it's people, oh, God, everyone get the fuck out of the way.
There, you forgot, huh? You take out the hand, but you forgot about the lethal feet.
Yeah, well, those two men did. They just got their heads kicked off. And Lola pushed back first into the barricade in front of her father.
And her mom. Or
again, right now,
that's her mom or stepmom or whoever, but.
The jaw jacking here in front of Lola Vice's family cannot play in favor for Kelani Jordan if she takes Lola Vice lightly.
Okay, Dad, sit down before you have a heart attack, taking off the jacket and shit.
You did talk about what happened last time when Lola Vice was screwed. I'm just saying. And right now, Kelani Jordan bringing Lola Vice back inside the mat. And I do mean mat, because again, this is not a ring. There are no damn ropes. Kelani able to do a flip out escape. Oh, spinning back fist!
Spinning back fist!
Yeah, it is all over! Just like that! Buenas noches!
Holy shit, and that's how sudden it is. Bro,
whoa!
She hit her with the opposite hand. Look, she hit her with the left hand.
Well, I guess my question was answered. Lola Vice goes 4-0 in the underground, knocking Kelani Jordan the fuck out.
Holy shit, and she walked into it. Kelani walked right into it.
She couldn't even blink before it hit her.
Dude, I don't think the after. Fight. I don't think the after punches were necessary, but hey, what did the other Miami say?
Marinello always used to say, and Marinello was all about, and the ground and pound. I would love to see Marinello call one of these. Again, the flip out, bam! Gets caught with that spinning back fist.
She got cocky.
Good Lord.
Bro, that was a blink of an eye type move, too.
The back fist dropped Kelani again. That had to feel sweet for Lola Vice.
You were so worried about her left hand, you forgot about the right.
Congratulations to Lola Vice, who remains undefeated in the underground. All hail the
Damn.
queen. Damn.
Don't blink. You might miss it. Holy shit.
Walter, I think to your point, actually, that wasn't the left hand. That was the compromised right. And the fact of the matter was it wasn't covered up by a glove. Even with the damage done to it, that was still exposed, blown up on contact. Lola legit knocked Kelani the fuck out again.
Matthew's
Damn.
3-1. I think I'm 3-1 too, Matt.
I am 4-0, so I'm very happy with myself. Despite the fact they gave me a TV segment, as we got another commercial break, fuck television. Well, congratulations to Lola Vice, who remains the queen of the underground, undefeated. Well, folks, on a show that literally has been one of the better wrestling PLEs under the WWE branding, we saw the Glamour, Blake Monroe, provide a 24-karat assault on Jaida Parker and beat her in a street fight. Dion, Lennox, and Tony D fought up and down Orlando, Florida, in and out of NXT's ring, as Tony D got the better of Dark State's mercenary, at least for the time being. We saw what happened when Izzy Dame plays with Tatum Paxley's emotions after Tatum realized who she is and who she doesn't need to be by her side, as Sam Pez became the new NXT Women's North American Champion tonight. And Walter, you just got to call your mama Sita, not Klein Jordan, the fuck out as combat sports overcome gymnastics in its first ever clash of styles in the underground.
Yep. NXT's been on fire aside from that damn segment.
Yeah, I will say that as we go back to our regularly scheduled, foundation of color and background sorts. Again, though, thank you to the folks that have been tuning in to our coverage of NXT Background. I hope that you enjoyed so far. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Again, we do this for all the biggest shows. PS Pyramids for WWE, NXT, AEW, ROH, TNA, HOG, GCW, and other independent promotions included. As, of course, we get ready for our main event for the NXT Championship. Absolute Ricky Saints goes one-on-one with Hendry, but it looks like Ricky Saints might have enlisted some help with all ego behind it. And we also know how much Ricky Saints has had the Vanity Project also back him up. In fact, Joe Hendry's first defense was against one member of the Vanity Project. Let's forget. And again, Walter, it's always a pleasure covering wrestling with you. I look forward, of course, to covering AEW Revolution with you. Again, both as next weekend, Sunday, the first pay-per-view of the All Elite calendar year for 2026. The match card already has the Young Bucks on FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Chris Statlander goes one-on-one with Fetlob for the AEW Women's World Championship in a 2-out-of-3 falls match. Who's the most dangerous man in AEW? Brody King and Swerve Strickland go one-on-one for the first time ever to find out.
Be fucking nuts. I'm so jealous JJ gets to go in person.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm fucking jealous of that man, but I hope he has an incredible time in his first All Elite preview experience. Bandito goes one-on-one with Andrade Elo for the first time ever, as Bandito has always been a fan that looked up to La Sombra, and this match, Walter, could literally have Ring of Honor World Championship implications. We also know that John Monty will go one-on-one with the Alpha Kenosi, the Cash Guy, and the clock will be thrown out. There has to be a winner, as the Continental Championship will be contested under no time limit. And of course, in our main event so far announced, it will be Maxwell Jacob Freeman, MJF, versus him and Adam Page in what truly could be the last time ever for the AEW World Championship in a Texas death match, where if Heyman loses, he can never, ever challenge the AEW World Championship ever again in his career.
Damn, MJF didn't get his wish. He said, Tony Khan, get your scrawny ass out of here and change his stipulation.
Well, we all knew that wasn't going to happen. I guarantee you that. As, of course, Revolution will stand and deliver, and the Revolution will be televised Saturday, April 4th. NXT will stand and deliver on their grandest stage for the first time ever from St. Louis, Missouri. And we will see what you believe in and what Fiddle Influence will take over. That and so much more when we cover NXT Stand and Deliver, Saturday, April 4th. Available on Peacock exclusively. And there you see the Gateway of America, the Arc of St. Louis, again, that will play home at the Factory at the Districts. NXT Stand Deliver, Saturday, April 4th. Tickets are available right now. Don't sell your kidney over it. That's all I got to say about that.
Right.
It's one of those things, though, again, where there's just so much going on across the world of wrestling right now. There's never been a better time to be a professional wrestling fan. As we go backstage to a rather apoplectic Jessie Jane, who realizes that the last stop to Stand Deliver might stop her from delivering altogether.
I think it's starting to hit her. She hates when the odds are stacked against her, right? But she loves when she got it in her favor.
Typical heel hypocrisy identity.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, again, like I said, Triple Threat plays in Fatal Influence's favor because they can get involved. And it looks like that Fatal Influence is trying to neutralize one of the influences in this match. And as we also know, Wen Sinclair or Fiakel will be the next challenger to the Fallon Henry Speedometer Sticker Championship.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe that title has more character, more relevancy, more challengers, and more importance than Jade Cargill and the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's pathetic.
I never thought of that title about anything, but they're actually doing a pretty good job with it.
I fucking hate that. Anyway, Tuesday, March 17th, as we talked about, Triple Threat and Women's Championship, Soruka, Jessie Jane, and Zarya. And of course, this coming Tuesday, Walter, Tournament Finals. Fiakel or Wen Sinclair, one of these two has found Henry for the Speedometer Championship. The finals this Tuesday on NXT. And we also will see 3 random men also in line for the Speed Championship. Troy, Legacy, and Eli Knight. Again, I don't watch the NXT. I don't know nothing about those 3 men.
Troy's the former champion.
Oh, isn't he the Booker T's LFG guy that won the damn season or whatever?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares?
He just lost the title.
Okay, so he's even more relevant. Good to know. But again, what a wild night. 90% of an excellent show tonight that we have seen here at Vengeance Day as we prepare for our main event for the NXT Championship. Joe Hendry, Ricky Saints, one of these two will absolutely make us believe that they will indeed stand and deliver in St. Louis. Who will be champion on the road to stand and deliver? The fact that Joe Hendry has his own DLC in W2K26 is all you need to know about this match. I'm just saying.
This is only his second defense.
And of course, Joe Hendry's been working 15 years for this moment. After we saw the unthinkable with the ruler leaving the NXT title in the ring. And for the first time since 2015, the NXT Championship was contested in a ladder match. Put that in perspective, Walter. That was NXT Arrival when we first saw the title in a ladder match.
6-pack challenge, was it? Was it the 6-pack challenge?
I think it was literally just, and it was Adrian Neville that won that night. You're absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
That is wild when you think about it.
Hell yeah.
And of course, as I talked about before, Ricky Saints was previously NXT champion before Obafemi took it from him at Deadline after Ricky Saints beat Obafemi at No Mercy, truly became a traditional champion. But it was Joe Hendry at the top of the ladder, looking high above as Ricky Saints looked in pain from below as Joe Hendry seized the title. And Booker T started butchering his song. Good Lord Almighty. You know, this just goes to show that Booker T, you don't need to MC everything. I'm just saying. God. And of course, everybody believes in Joe Hendry. As we saw, Ricky Saints and Joe Hendry were a hand away from disaster and destiny in that ladder match. Again, I'm always going to support Joe Hendry, all right? Always. And think about last year, what Joe Hendry accomplished getting to that spot. A WrestleMania match and moment as the TNA World Champion. Entering TNA World Champion in the Royal Rumble. And then becoming an NXT superstar and shortly in his NXT career, seizing the title. But Ricky Saints could not stand it.
Ricky Saints showed his jealousy real early.
Okay, that was the worst rendition I've ever heard.
I believe in Ricky.
All right, Timu Rock, get a hold of yourself.
Right.
Seriously. Matthew saying, I believe. And bring people up to speed, by the way. Shout out again to the 35 of you that have joined the NXT League. Congratulations to the 85 of you that picked Tony D, to the 85 of you that picked Lola Vice. And Walter, it was nearly 50-50 for Izzy and Tatum Paxley, but shout out to the 51% of you that picked Tatum Paxley and picked Blake Monroe, 67% of you in that street fight, as almost all of you believe in Joe Hendry, but apparently there are two people on the Ricky Saints bandwagon.
So far, that's the only match I got wrong was the Parker.
With all due respect, I'm not betting against the glamour. Blake Monroe when the Woman from Hell comes out.
True.
As of course, we saw this match really came to fruition when Ricky Saints goaded Joe Hendry into marketing this for the NXT Championship, as Joe Hendry has no problem kicking Ricky Saints' ass tonight all over Orlando. Time to see who leads this revolution in this reformation of NXT. Our main event is here. And of course, Ricky Saints, who signed to NXT last year. And there you see, of course, the challenger, as I said, previous NXT champion, who beat, of all people, the ruler, Obafemi, for his title. You almost wondered, though. Yeah, I'm about to say, though, but you also saw, like you said earlier, Walter, Ricky Saints enlisted maybe some insurance for tonight in all ego Ethan Page at his worst point of his life.
Yeah, but can you really trust that selfish son of a bitch?
Can't trust either of them. I will say this, Ricky Saints has all the tools to be the guy in NXT, but I believe that Joe Hendry won this title for a reason, and clearly Ricky Saints does not. Confidence is a very strong tool to carry you forward in this business. And we'll see tonight if it carries Ricky Saints back to promise. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Okay, that's all you're going to get. Always with Joe Hendry.
Tokyo,
stop it. You stop it.
Mexico.
All right, fuck it. I believe in Joe Hendry. For the first time ever, Walter, you and I are calling Joe Hendry as the NXT champion.
Oh, yeah, that's right, huh?
This is crazy. The man that reached his genesis last year in January finds himself this year. Oh my God, Booker T. Finds himself this year in March looking to stand and deliver for NXT. I can't with Booker T, Walter. I can't. Good Lord. If a song never needed an MC more than this one, someone tell me in the chat. The man that was once the biggest critic to Joe Hendry became the biggest fanboy of Joe Hendry when he seized the NXT Championship. I'm just going to let Booker T do his thing here because even Walter right now, his silence speaks volumes.
Yeah,
Mike Rome, please give us the introductions to this match and shut Booker T up.
Please, because he's messing it up for us. How do you mess up that entrance?
I'd rather hear you drunk sing Joe Hendry's music than friggin' Booker T sober.
Right?
Anyway, God. Believe it or not, folks, this is Ricky Saints' 6th NXT title match, 3rd time as challenger.
50-50, 3 times as champ, 3 times as challenger. That's crazy.
And it goes to show again how much Ricky Saints has seized opportunity since being part of NXT. Meanwhile, Joe Hendry won a 7-man ladder match to become the face of NXT that we believe in. And has been champion now for 32 days. And there you see the cornerstone of the black and chrome, the WWE NXT Championship. Joe Hendry is the 31st champion in this brand's illustrious history, going all the way back to what much Walter talked about earlier. Adrian Neville, who won in a ladder match in 2015, and the first ever NXT champion, Seth freaking Rollins back in 2012 when this brand was first created.
I guess Booker believes.
Yeah, it's amazing how much checks and championships make somebody less of a hypocrite. And tonight we'll see Joe Hendry try to make Ricky Saints a believer or an example that he is much more than a social media influencer, a meme. He is a champ. Oh, no! And Joe Hendry right now tied up in the ring ropes. That's a great way to break an ankle, as we know, Walter, because those are steel cables.
Hell yeah. And his boot is just caught in there.
And referee able to free Joe Hendry, risking certain permanent damage there, suspended into the second and bottom ring ropes upside down. There you go, see the NXT Championship on that podium. As Ricky Saints, of course, goes after Joe Hendry here. And I can't blame Ricky Saints for this. You see a vulnerability in your opponent, you go after it. We know that shadows only come so often.
Hey, Kelani just tried the same thing. Look how much it did her.
Yeah, even with the compromised hand, that bone-on-bone impact still knocked Kelani Jordan the fuck out. But I will say this, Kelani Jordan, commendable effort adding her adaptation of gymnastics to the underground.
Hey, man, that was a good match.
That was a fight, dude. That wasn't a match, remember?
Yeah, you can't call it a match.
Why everything's felt like a fight tonight, that was legitimately a fight. And this is a championship match right here. Big shoulder block there. Ricky Saints standing in the corner. Joe Hendry trying to light up Ricky Saints like Times Square. Knife edge chop. Of course, Ricky Saints, as I talked about, came into NXT last year, literally in February. As both these men are looking to stand and deliver, April the 4th, much like Jesse Jane right now is looking to stand and deliver, still as NXT Women's Champion. And Joe Hendry right now has relied on the people so much to remind him exactly why we believe it's the people that carried him to WrestleMania. It's the people that carried him to the TNT World Champion. It's the people that carried him to become a WWE superstar and sign with NXT. A worldwide phenomenon in less than a year after 15 years of hard work. That is the Joe Hendry story.
And from Scotland, literally all the places he names in his song, he pretty much fought in some organization.
ICW, OTT, Impact Wrestling, you name it, he's been there. You're absolutely correct. Stalling vertical drop by 250 pounds of pure elevation. Here's the cover, hook on the far leg with a back press and a 2 count for Joe Hendry. Take a look at the replay here. Again, the strength of Joe Hendry. That's motivation right there.
People say they get over, they jump on the bandwagon, they think like he's new. He's been doing this for so long, man. You just started hearing about him recently. We knew about him from ICW.
Oh,
I knew about him from the Drew Galloway freaking rivalry.
Cover
That's when I first
two.
heard about Joe Hendry.
Hell, Joe Hendry was here representing as a lawyer extra for Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his first out of nowhere WWE extra work, WWE blank work. And he wasn't even meant for that role.
Yeah, it was supposed to be someone else. That's right.
As Ricky Saints believes everything that Joe Hendry's got has been only handed to him, given to him. The system favors him. And right now, Ricky Saints is going to learn the hard way. Everything Joe Hendry has gotten, he has earned and deserved. You can believe that. Joe Hendry fired up. You have to swing a net breaker going into the corner. Ricky Saints, though, able to get the side boot up. Turns Joe Hendry around. Now hooking Joe Hendry. Possibly for a tornado DDT, or maybe grabbing the wrist and looking to go new school across the ropes with the NXT champion. Walking a tightrope between destiny and destruction here, Walter. And oh!
That's the line he walks between confidence and cockiness.
And it absolutely bit him where the sun don't shine in the uprights. If Ricky Saints is going to prove a point to himself versus Joe Hendry, he cannot take Joe Hendry lightly. Oh, throat first and into the steel ring steps. And we wonder about the strategy of Ricky Saints here, Walter. Now we're starting to see it.
Yeah.
Remember,
you know what? His ankle
man.
getting caught in the ropes just provided him with opportunity, man.
Cover, hook of that leg to your point, gets a 2 count. But also think about this. The steps have been the story of so many matches tonight. Joe Hendry uses that right arm to hoist the opponent up for that standing ovation choke slam. If Joe Hendry doesn't have the strength in that right arm, he can't do that. And right now, Ricky Saints in the driver's seat and Joe Hendry on the canvas. And right now, Joe Hendry needs to find leverage and a comeback here. Swinging net breaker right now as Ricky Saints works the head and neck of Joe Hendry, obviously for that Rochambeau. Running side kick applied. Here's the cover, hook on the far leg, side press, gets a 2 count. As Ricky Saints looks to be the main event, the marquee, the talking point of Stand and Deliver. Again, folks, Stand and Deliver, NXT's greatest stage, Saturday, April 4th. For the first time ever, it is not part of WrestleMania week. It will stand on its own. Dueling chance right now for Ricky Saints, who has his own believers here in the NXT faithful. Of course, Joe Hendry has an entire world of motivation behind him. Big headbutt there by the NXT champion. And again, taken down with a big elbow. A big shot right there that literally disorientated the NXT champion. And of course, Ricky Saints has been nothing but an instigator and a complainer since being part of NXT, figuring that he has always been what NXT needed. Face first in the top turnbuckle goes Joe Hendry. And much like Ethan Page's meteoric rise in NXT, Walter, Ricky Saints was obviously looking for a similar wave of momentum. And it didn't really work out that well for him at the early start. And right now, Ricky Saints driving his boot through the throat of Joe Hendry. Again, driving Joe Hendry to the outside. As, of course, Walter works 20% after 65. Multiple jobs, as always, folks. Mr. Reliable, the hardest working man not named JJ here. Part of our family. And, of course, you all are also part of our family. Driving the passion forward to persist for all the coverages, for all the biggest shows across all of famed wrestling, as we cover this match for the NXT Championship. And right now, Ricky Saints mocking Joe Hendry, being him back inside the ring. And this is one of the things about Joe Hendry's opponents. They like to mock the song. They like to mock the meme. They like to mock the posing. They like to take Joe Hendry lightly. And that has literally been one of the biggest strengths to Joe Hendry's uprising. Backdrop suplex, kick out at 2 by Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's been taken lightly his entire career and has made believers out of so many workers and fans alike his illustrious career. And right now, the Irish Whip reverse. So again, this crowd's been red hot tonight here for NXT. The shoulder block to Joe Hendry. Ricky Saints coming over. Slingshot, schoolboy, roll up the cover for a new champion. Kick out at 2 by Joe Hendry. Oh, big right hand. And right now, driven face first in the second turnbuckle goes the champion. Ricky Saints again looking for some extra offense here. Shotgun baseball slide drop kick. Got right to the jawline. Is the cover. Hook of the arm and leg. It's a 2 count. Smart move by Ricky Saints grabbing the outside arm and leg to prevent Joe Hendry from getting a rope break. And of course, Ricky Saints believes that everything Joe Hendry has gotten, he's the one that should have been there. He should have been the one at Royal Rumble. He should have been the one at WrestleMania. Ola Femi, though, might have been more correct in Ricky Saints' mindset when it comes to the fact that you will just end up eventually nothing more than Cody Rhodes' errand boy carrying his bats. Cody Rhodes now the new 3-time WWE Undisputed Champion. And Ricky Saints mocking Joe Hendry with a faraway slam kip up and posing. Trying to one-up Joe Hendry at every turn. And Joe Hendry a spear.
Spear and a half.
As Joe Hendry starts to rise up. Again, do you believe the audience believes? And right now, Joe Hendry getting the better of Ricky Saints with this exchange. Irish Whip reverse. So Saints off the ropes. And you were saying?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was talking to my kid.
Four-way slam by Joe Hendry. And a kip up by the original.
And...
Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. We believe!
Ooh, he didn't even do it. He was too focused.
Back elbow strike. Well, again, Joe Hendry's been very focused on Ricky Saints, who's assaulted him on numerous occasions, including the parking lot. And the strength of Joe Hendry with the release power bomb. This could be the moment. Hook of the front leg. Cover kick out at 2 by Ricky Saints. Whoa. Look at the deadlift. That was a deadlift right there, man.
Yeah, and look at the way Ricky kicked out. He doesn't have a lot of energy left.
And Lala's been taking out both these men here so far in tonight's main event at NXT Vengeance Day. And of course, Ricky Saints, former NXT North American champion as well, let's forget, who lost that title to Ethan Page. And again, he talked to Ethan Page earlier, trying to make a deal with him. If you help me, I will make sure you get a shot at the title, but also you could possibly become a two-time NXT North American champion. And does Ethan Page care more about that title, or does he care about the NXT title at this point? Both titles he's very familiar with. Backslide attempt to account for Ricky Saints, the roll through by Joe Hendry, though. And again, Ricky catching Joe Hendry up in the fireman's carry. And crash! Cover! Lateral punch kick out at two by Joe Hendry. Transitioning now.
He's got to be thinking in the back of his head, if he doesn't win tonight, where does he go from here? Because, it's almost like title is all or nothing for him.
And look at Ricky Saints right now going all or nothing in this crossfades with the S-script change now, covering up the bridging of the nose of Joe Hendry, trying to come out his breathing and his vision. Now maintaining control of the head. Front face lock applied right now by Ricky Saints. Different submissions here. Now a guillotine applied. And literally trying to wear down Joe Hendry. If Joe Hendry collapses, we might have a new NXT champion.
That guillotine wears on your neck, and not only that, Ricky Saints weighs 210 pounds, and Joe Hendry just had to pick all his weight up on his neck right there. That's why he collapsed.
Joe Hendry's pinning right now, referee in per position. If the arm goes down, we got a new champion, Joe Hendry right now. We still believe he can win this match here, refusing to die tonight at Vengeance Day, seeing his own vengeance where he stands deliver, hugging up Ricky Saints, Starlight vertical drop suplex. Incredible resilience there by Joe Hendry. That has been the MO of his career. Defiance. And he was once in defiant wrestling. The believers are out in full force here tonight, and Ricky Saints again does not believe that Joe Hendry is what NXT needs. Looking for the Royal Shambo. Joe Hendry escapes. Now Joe Hendry poisons up Ricky Saints up in the fireman's carry. Ricky Saints able to escape, catching him with a super kick.
Right flush.
And now, up the second, boots up. You were saying, Walter?
Okay. He landed too close to the ropes, but he didn't go for a cover.
And what Joe Hendry, coming a Defiant driver. Lola does an actual adjustment. John Cena kick out two.
That's the third time we've seen him do that. Like a shout out to Cena.
Big move by Joe Hendry. Shout out to the GOAT that nearly allowed him to win this big match tonight.
Hey, he retired. Someone's got to take that move over, right?
I suppose. For the longest time, people were wondering what would happen if we saw Joe Hendry versus John Cena. Ricky Saints now top rope got caught in an uppercut, though. Joe Hendry, student disciplined by the game. And to your point, Drew McIntyre believes in Joe Hendry, former undisputed WWE champion. And right now, Joe Hendry, avalanche fall leg slam.
Kick up? No, he didn't even kick up. He just went for the cover.
And really smart move, but Ricky Saints able to kick out. You forget about, again, how much it's taking out both men. The strength that must have been taking out Joe Hendry in doing that move.
The momentum, the force of going out there. You land on your own back and neck when you do that. So that some move, you just got to be the risk of it, because you literally are hurting yourself when you do certain moves.
Sometimes you got to put your own body on the line for what you believe in, Walter. Looking for a standing ovation. Ricky Saints throw the roll through. Hook, lays hook. Cross leg cover. Kick out two by Joe Hendry. Great scouting. Oh, and a jumping knee. Right into the jawline.
I see what you did there.
The Hammerlock DDT connects in the cover. Future shock applied. Kick out at two. And there you see all Eagle Ethan Page coming out to ringside, eyeing the NXT title.
You gotta think, is it easier for him to win it off of Joe Hendry or from Ricky?
Let's also keep in mind, Ethan Page won it in the quickest time possible in NXT history. And right now, Ethan Page looking at literally what started his NXT career. Schoolboy roll up by Joe Hendry, though. 2 count on Ricky Saints. And right now, neither of these men can focus even on the outside. Dustin underneath the clothes on Ricky Saints. Spear!
Woo!
That was huge right there. And Ethan driving the title to Joe Hendry.
Huh?
What the fuck just happened?
I told you, Henry. I asked you if Ricky can actually trust him.
But if Joe Hendry knows he can't use the championship and get disqualified, do you really want to win that way?
I don't think he'll take a win like that.
Well, the referee's trying to seize the championship and does so. Oh, and a low blow by Ricky Saints! Are you fucking kidding me? Tornado DDT! Not like this! A cover! A two legs! We got a kick out by Joe Hendry at 2.
Yo, my heart sank for a second, Noah.
You and me both! Talk about digging down deep! I thought the fix was in! And again, Ricky Saints right back on top of the champion. Joe Hendry, though, again, do you believe that Joe Hendry deserves to be the NXT champion? Ricky Saints, again, just driving his anger through Joe Hendry in the corner. Once again, Joe got Ricky Saints hooked. Look for Stay Elevation. Oh! Referee almost got bumped. And Ricky Saints again. No. Irish whip, reversal. Irish whip, reversal. Joe Hendry. Referee almost got bumped again. Ricky Saints, though, grabbing the shoulder. Oh, what the hell happened? I didn't see anything. What happened? My feed glitched. What the fuck happened there? And Joe Hendry got Ricky Saints. Look, it's a standing ovation. Joe Hendry with the cover. Joe Hendry is still NXT champion.
There was something in my eye for a second, so I don't know how it happened, but go ahead, Joe.
The bottom line, we believe that's what happened. Belief happened. Joe Hendry is still the face of NXT and will indeed stand and deliver in St. Louis. Despite the fact Ricky Saints thought he had a fix in with all Ethan Page as insurance, Joe Hendry still is NXT champion and finds his vengeance. Karma's a bitch, isn't it, Ricky Saints? Again, Ethan Page came out here and he slid the title to Joe Hendry, which I was confused to begin with, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was like a pre-discussed plan into the low blow. Use the low blow versus the title. Again, Walter, walk us through this. What the fuck happened here?
It's a classic case of not letting the right hand know what the left hand is doing type thing.
Well, again, for Joe Hendry, he didn't need any help. For Ricky Saints, he was desperate for help. Ricky Saints was desperate to get back what he believed was always his. And Ethan Page nearly helped him do that. But again, why did Ethan slide the championship to Joe Hendry? Was it meant to be that way, or did he have a different plan in mind? Either way, Ricky Saints on innovation found a low blow and was able to finally hit a tornado DDT, and we nearly had an absolute finish to a new NXT champion. Thank Christ, Joe Hendry kicked out. But Joe Hendry continued to fight through. The referee got bumped in and out, and then Joe Hendry somehow was able to catch Ricky Saints below the belt. Inadvertent contact, and Joe Hendry makes Ricky Saints eat karma to the audience, a standing ovation, and Joe Hendry allows us to believe that he is still NXT champion for a reason.
Yeah. You gotta believe, huh? And I think
Damn right.
and Ricky are yelling at each other.
Well, who do you blame more here, Ricky Saints or Ethan Page?
I don't know, but Joe Hendry better be careful, because if these two actually get united, whew.
Well, I don't know right now they're walking away with their tails between their legs, but I do know this. We all believe in Joe Hendry. Because once again, the power of belief carries Joe Hendry through, and tonight leads him to find his own vengeance against Ricky Saints. Vengeance Day comes to a close with vengeance carried out throughout the night, with Joe Hendry still NXT champion at the end of the night. And we thank you all for tuning into our coverage of this Vengeance Day. For Walter Cruz, I'm Noah Foster, and we will see you at the top of the 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time hour for our interview with Kyle McKenna and the sad shenanigans to ensue. But until then, make a positive impact in life. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in our coverage of NXT, and we will see you for shenanigans or the next time we cover another wrestling PLE. Walter, cut the fucking feed. I believe this show was absolutely tremendous for the most part.
For the most part.
And we believe!
At least one Scott person still has the title. Oops.
Don't.